Chapter 620. Forbidden evil drug. Xin Yin watched from his side. He also wanted to see how different Jian Nanhu is this time. Jian Nanhu has a black sword martial spirit and sword totem. When he uses the sword, he fuses the sword martial spirit and the totem into the sword body, and then uses divine ability. Jian Ruyan is beside Qin Yun and said, Qin Yun, don't think that just because your mental power is stronger than mine, your strength will surpass mine. Let's fight seriously. You're no match for me. I know, heroine. You're 100 times stronger than me. Okay? Qin Yun said with a smile. Thank you for giving me 6 Origin Spirit Xian pills. It's worth it for me to give you a beating. Bastard. Jian Ruyan gritted her teeth and cursed. You look very cute when you're angry, just like a friend of mine. Qin Yun could not help but think of Zi Qingsheng. He really wanted to pinch Sister Steamed Bun's cheek. Jian Ruyan is also that kind of round-faced girl. However, she looks cool and a bit overbearing. Sometimes, she was quite manly, saying some vulgar words, but her appearance was that of a cute, round-faced girl, which was very inconsistent with her character. Jian Nanhu and the masked man started fighting. It is very intense. Is this the power of Jian Nanhu's divine ability? Truly powerful. Qin Yun had experienced it before. It was called Sword Shakes Heaven and Earth. The most powerful thing about Brother, who is not his divine abilities, but the sword totem martial arts. Not only can it allow him to release a sword intent filled with deterrence, it also has very strong sword techniques. Jian Meng said, the last time Qin Yun fought with Jian Nanhu, he did not see any sword intent or sword technique. Jian Ruyan said with a frown, that masked man is really strong. There are many powerful fellows hidden in the Lawkeeper Hall. Although he's strong, I feel that he's still a little weaker than Brother Hu. No wonder Brother Hu is unconvinced. Qin Yun looked at Jian Nanhu's battle. I discovered that although Jian Nanhu is fighting very seriously, he did not use his full strength. It seems like he is suppressing his own strength. He only used Sword Shakes Heaven and Earth a few times. The masked man could also defend himself, but it was a little difficult. This masked man is not his match, Qin Yun said in his heart. He can also see that the strength of the person in front of him is limited. If this continues, he will definitely lose to Jian Nanhu. Jian Nanhu also discovered that this masked man is not the one who defeated him before. Although it was very strong, its various powers were completely inconsistent. This was also the reason why he deliberately suppressed his strength. He wanted to see if the masked man could use that kind of power. Qin Yun felt bored watching because he could not see Jian Nanhu's true strength. Just when he felt bored, he suddenly sensed a light aura. Lu Jingming came. Big Brother Yun, you're hurt. Lu Jingming wore a simple white dress and looked at Qin Yun with a frown. Her eyes were filled with heartache. Qin Yun and Lu Jingming have a good relationship. It is not surprising to see her and Qin Yun being so close. They're just jealous. Lu Jingming took out a jade bottle to heal Qin Yun. Jingming, don't waste these Xian medicines. I'm fine, Qin Yun quickly said. But your skin is cracked. You must be in pain. Lu Jingming looked at the wound on Qin Yun's arm and felt her heart ache so much that her eyes became moist. It doesn't hurt. I am undergoing a kind of cultivation. It can train my recovery power. Qin Yun quickly put on a robe and said with smile, you see, I am fine now. Big Brother Yun, why didn't you properly protect yourself? I am very sad that you are injured. Lu Jingming said in a soft voice, frowning as she reprimanded Qin Yun. I will properly protect myself in the future. Thank you for your concern, Jingming, Qin Yun said with a smile. Then, he gently caressed Lu Jingming's cute face and asked, how is the practice of the golden ape totem going? I can carve it, but it's not as exquisite as Big Brother Yun's. Lu Jingming quickly said, take your time. You will definitely be stronger than me in the future, Qin Yun said with a smile. Big Brother Yun, I heard that you were expelled from the Immortal Weapon City. Is that right? Lu Jingming is somewhat sad. She bit her lips. Her appearance is very painful. Jian Ruyan and a group of Immortal Weapon City disciples watched from aside. They are secretly amazed. They could not understand what is so attractive about Qin Yin. To actually be able to captivate a little girl like Lu Jingming to the point that she is head over heels for him. Qin Yin nodded. Then I won't be able to see you often in the future. Lu Jingming pouted and is about to cry. How could that be? I will stay in the immortal weapon city for a period of time with your grandfather, that bald old man. Qin Yin quickly comforted her and said with a smile, I want to earn a lot of purple coins before I leave. Really? Lu Jingming immediately became very happy. Of course it's true, Qin Yin said with a smile. This is also his plan. After all, it is relatively safe in this immortal weapon city. His relationship with Mu Feng and the bald old man is pretty good. Staying in their divine inscription palace is also very safe. I admit defeat. After the masked man's body was stabbed more than 10 times, he quickly shouted, I could have made you lose a long time ago. Jian Nanhu coldly snorted. You are not the person I met last time. The masked man did not say anything and walked out of the arena. Jian Shirtan immediately became unhappy and said with a frown, Old Bao, what's going on? Bao Changsho looked at Granny Ma and asked, Granny Ma, isn't this the person from last time? Quickly find that person and let Jian Nanhu fight to his heart's content. Granny Ma helped the masked man deal with his injuries. Lu Jingming also ran over shyly to deliver medicine, but Granny Ma did not take her medicine. In the last operation, everyone wore masks and the same robes. Granny Ma frowned and said, How about I find all the people who participated in the last operation and fight with Jian Nanhu? Sure, Jian Nanhu agreed. Soon after, a few more masked men walked out. One by one, they went up the stage to compete with Jian Nanhu. Jian Nanhu did not waste any time this time. When he realized that it was not the same person from last time, he immediately stopped. This is also to not injure the other party. After changing a few people in a row, none of them could satisfy Jian Nanhu. The person who fought with me last time used a very strong thunder and lightning power. Jian Nanhu looked at Granny Ma and said, In our immortal weapon city, the strongest thunder and lightning power is Tian Yaolei. Granny Ma looked at Tian Yaolei, who was not far away, and asked him to come over. That person doesn't look that big. When Jian Nanhu saw Tian Yaolei walk over, he sensed the berserk thunder and lightning power and became very interested. Tian Yaolei is very tall, and his entire body is filled with muscles. It is very easy to recognize him. Don't care if it's that person or not. All you need to know is that I can defeat you. Tian Yaolei is very confident in his own strength. You are really arrogant, Jian Nanhu sneered and said. Since you use thunder and lightning power, then fight with me. Tian Yaolei had wanted to go on stage for a long time. He laughed loudly and said, All right, if you lose, don't complain that you are not prepared enough. He took out a huge hammer and stood in the middle of the arena. Under his muscles, thunder and lightning are flowing. It is very frightening. The reason why Jian Nanhu wanted revenge so much is because when he lost last time, he was ruthlessly punched in the face. This caused him to take it to heart. Furthermore, his opponent did not even use a weapon to defeat him. Begin, Jian Shirtian shouted. The reason why he came today is to let his grandson settle this matter. Otherwise, if he kept this matter in his heart, it would affect him in the future. Tian Yaolei raised his sledgehammer. His steps are like thunder and lightning. When he took a step, the earth trembled slightly. He very quickly charged towards Jian Nanhu and smashed down with his hammer. Jian Nanhu promptly brandished his sword to block. He deliberately blocked the hammer because he wanted to see how strong Tian Yaolei's thunder and lightning power is. Rumble. Thunder rumbled. Lightning exploded and energy waves raged. When Tian Yaolei's sledgehammer struck Jian Nanhu's sword, it actually cracked and the hammer was damaged. You've lost, Jian Nanhu said coldly. His sword trembled and sword energy surged in all directions. A strong sword intent enveloped Tian Yaolei. Hoo. Jian Nanhu's sword is as fast as lightning. It crazily stabbed at Jian Nanhu. The sword energy swirled up waves of energy waves. Not necessarily. The sinister muscles on Tian Yaolei's body constantly emitted lightning. His muscles swelled up and became sturdy. Although Jian Nanhu's sword pierced into Tian Yaolei's body, it could not pierce through his body. The tip of the sword was stuck in Tian Yaolei's tough muscles. This caused him to struggle a bit when he retracted his sword. The strength of Tian Yaolei's body seems to be in no way inferior to those Xian bodies. Even Jian Nanhu is somewhat impressed. At least you have some strength. Jian Nanhu encountered a strong opponent and became slightly serious. Tian Yaolei's body has been pierced with many holes, but he did not feel any pain. This is the most surprising thing. Even the previous Qin Yun, after being injured, would reveal an expression of pain. Even if he forcefully endured it, it could be seen that he was enduring the pain. And this Tian Yaolei doesn't seem to feel any pain. Tian Yaolei ate a special medicine. That's why he doesn't feel any pain. Chu Binyu's expression changed. This guy, looking at his terrifying muscles, I can tell that his cultivation method is not normal. What medicine did he take? Qin Yun asked curiously. A type of evil medicine. As long as you eat it once, you will become addicted. You have to eat it every once in a while, otherwise it will be very painful. This evil medicine can allow people to obtain great power. When their body is injured, they will not feel any pain. Jian Rian said, of course, if it's in the fantasy field, you will still feel pain. Chu Binyu looked at the Tian family's half-immortal and said with a low snort, these guys actually used forbidden medicine. Qin Yun said in shock, these forbidden medicines are not only addictive, right? Jian Rian frowned and said, they can also make people go crazy and turn them into a bloodthirsty, evil demon. Qin Yun looked at Tian Yaolei and realized that something is wrong with him. His eyes are bloodshot and black veins are bursting out of his body. It is extremely frightening. Tian Yaolei's power has also become even more terrifying. Every time he punches, thunder and lightning power explodes out, forcing Jian Nanhu to retreat. Jian Nanhu, you arrogant bastard, I'm going to kill you, haha. A red mist surged out from Tian Yaolei's body as he crazily punched Jian Nanhu. Chapter 6:21. The clash of swordsman Jian Nanhu can also see that Tian Yaolei is going crazy. He knows that it is caused by the evil medicine, so he is not angry. Otherwise, he would have flown into a rage after being insulted in such a manner. I want to see how strong you are. Jian Nanhu has a playful smile on his face, as if he is teasing Tian Yaolei. His attacks were sometimes strong and sometimes weak. He was very calm and did not panic because of Tian Yaolei's madness. Furthermore, it looked like he was intentionally trying to provoke Tian Yaolei and make him continue to go crazy. Everyone in the Tian family had an ugly expression. They really wanted Tian Yaolei to stop fighting, but Tian Yaolei would not listen. The older generation present were all very clear on how terrifying it was after eating that demonic medicine, and going berserk was making it difficult for one to control oneself. Not only could the evil medicine increase one's strength, it could also expand the ruthlessness in one's heart, endlessly strengthening the evil thoughts. As Tian Yaolei became more and more unable to control himself, his strength became stronger and stronger. The flesh on his fists had become indistinct, and the blackened bones could be seen. That was the consequence of eating demonic medicine all year round. At this moment, everyone gradually learned that Tian Yaolei had eaten a forbidden evil medicine. Of course, the Tian family would not admit to such a thing. They only said that Tian Yaolei had gone berserk. Bao Changshuo's expression was cold as he said, I really didn't expect that the disciples of our immortal weapon city would actually rely on this kind of forbidden evil medicine to obtain formidable strength. We will definitely strictly audit this area in the future, Granny Ma quickly said. Jian Nanhu looked at Tian Yaolei, who was going crazy, and said with sneer, even if you walk the crooked path, you still won't be able to defeat me. Evil will never prevail over good. The berserk Tian Yaolei is extremely terrifying. He attacked Jian Nanhu without any regard for his life. Although his entire body is badly mutilated, his strength has not weakened at all, and Jian Nanhu's strength is even more shocking. He is actually able to deal with the berserk Tian Yaolei with ease. Jian Nanhu's movement technique, sword technique, and Dao power are all astonishingly strong. Furthermore, he has rich battle experience. Although he was only at the early stage of the spiritual martial realm, his strength was no weaker than a martial master at the middle stage of the spiritual martial realm. This is Jian Nanhu's genius. However, everyone immediately recalled that Jian Nanhu had been defeated before. The person who defeated Jian Nanhu is inside the Immortal Weapon City. The reason why Jian Nanhu brought his powerful grandfather here is to seek revenge on that person. Now, that person is yet to appear, but Jian Nanhu has already experienced many battles. Tian Yaolei had completely lost his mind and began to roar crazily. Black blood seeped out of his skin, making him look like a demon. There was no flesh on his hands. There were black bone claws that were abnormally stiff. He was able to fight against Tian Yaolei's sword. Tian Yaolei is already dead, Jian Nanhu suddenly said. His soul has been corroded. The people of the Tian family went silent for a while. Taking forbidden drugs isn't something glorious. Moreover, those forbidden drugs were provided by them. Since Tian Yaolei is finished, then I won't be polite. Jian Nanhu laughed out loud and then launched a fierce attack. Sect Master, Tian Yaolei privately bought forbidden medicine and I didn't realize it. This is my responsibility. An old man from a Tian family walked over and said to Bao Changsho, since it's your responsibility, I'll lock you up for 10 years. Immediately, Bao Changsho said coldly. Following that, two black-robed old men walked out and escorted the martial king of the Tian family away. Today, although Qin Yin was expelled from the sect, those family powers are not much better off. Not to mention their reputations are bad. Their disciples have also suffered heavy casualties. Furthermore, they're all very talented disciples. After Jian Nanhu used a stronger power, he quickly pierced a few holes in Tian Yaolei's head. Sigh, even though you've gone crazy, you're still so weak. How disappointing. Jian Nanhu looked at the fallen Tian Yaolei and sighed with a lonely expression. Tian Yaolei, who is lying in a pool of blood, is trembling all over. Although Jian Nanhu won, he is not happy at all because Tian Yaolei is not his real target. Brother Hu, since you like challenging experts so much, you can go find a late-stage spirit martial realm martial master. Jian Ruyin curled her lips and said, at this level, you are practically invincible. No, the guy who defeated me last time was very strong. He was at the early stage spirit martial realm. I must defeat him. Jian Nanhu is very persistent. He looked at Granny Ma and said, Granny Ma, quickly invite that guy out. Is he dead? He's so powerful. He shouldn't be able to die. Granny Ma's face is filled with difficulty. Only she knows that person is Qin Yin. Based on her understanding of Qin Yin, if she wanted Qin Yin to fight, she would have to pay a great price. Rian, how about you fight with Jian Nanhu? As long as you win, I'll invite you to enter the Law Keeper Hall. Granny Ma suddenly said, after you enter the Law Keeper Hall, you will receive even better treatment. Jian Rian also knows that there are many benefits to entering the Law Keeper Hall. As for what benefits there are, they're all very secret. Moreover, the Law Keeper Hall has many methods to make its disciples stronger. All right, Jian Rian quickly agreed. She is a very warlike woman. Even though she knows that the opponent is very strong, she still wants to give it a try. Granny Ma knows that as long as someone defeats Jian Nanhu will no longer insist on seeking revenge against that person. Little Sister Yin, do you want me to go easy on you and deliberately lose to you so that you can enter that Law Keeper Hall? Jian Nanhu laughed. If you go easy on me, you look down on me. I, Jian Ruyin, am not that kind of despicable person. Jian Ruyin glanced at Qin Yin and coldly snorted. Qin Yin curled his lips and said, Female hero, then I wish you victory and enter the Law Keeper Hall. At that time, Jingmeng will accompany you. Lu Jingmeng quickly nodded and said with a sweet smile, Big Sister Ruyin, I don't have any friends in the Law Keeper Hall. If you go in, we will definitely become good friends. Jingmeng, Even if I can't enter the Lawkeeper Hall, I can still be your friend. Jian Rian faintly smiled at Lu Jingming. She can't be fierce towards Lu Jingming. Jian Ruyan went up on stage. Jian Meng, Jian Nanhu, and Jian Ruyan are all cousins. They grew up together, but later on they went to different sects and walked their own paths. The Sword Immortal Pavilion is a powerful immortal sect. It is said that more than half of the disciples are from the Jian family. The disciples of the Jian family all have the same bad temper. They're all proud and aloof, and they're also very strong. Jian Nanhu smiled and said, "Little sister Yin, you have entered the immortal weapon city for so many years. Let me see what kind of progress you have made. If you regress, it means that the immortal weapon city is not good enough. I have improved a lot in the immortal weapon city." As Jian Rian spoke, two swords suddenly appeared in her hands. One is black and the other is white. They are the mental sword and origin sword respectively. Sister Yan's true strength, Yin Yang Blood Fiend Sword. Jian Meng said, "This name is too evil." Qin Yun said with a smile. She named it herself. Jian Meng smiled. Jian Shitian also wanted to see how strong his own family's disciples are. He is also looking forward to this martial arts competition. Begin. Jian Rian knew that Jian Nanhu is very strong, so she used her strongest strength from the very beginning. Holding both swords, she rushed forward like a phantom. Her movement technique is ghostly and fast. Jian Rian, who is flying over, stabbed with both swords, creating a large area of alternating black and white sword images. It is like a storm formed from angry swords. One after another, they charge towards Jian Nanhu. This is Yin Yang Sword Surge. Although Jian Meng can't see it, he can sense all kinds of auras and said in a low voice in surprise. At this time, Jian Nanhu also used his divine ability, Sword Shakes Heaven and Earth. Waves of sword energy shook and rushed in all directions. The two sword auras collided. The resulting shockwave caused the barrier to violently tremble. Jian Shitian had no choice but to strengthen the barrier. Finally, Jian Ruyan and Jian Nanhu approached. The three swords of the two people clashed with banging sounds, creating a burst of light. The two sword auras howled unceasingly. It is extremely terrifying. When the disciples of the few great families saw Jian Ruyan and Jian Nanhu's strength, they sighed endlessly in their hearts. The expressions of the people from the Medicine Immortal Valley and the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain also gradually turned grave. Because Jian Ruyan and Jian Nanhu are both outstanding disciples. They will definitely appear in the martial arts competition soon. At that time, the outstanding disciples of various sects and clans will compete for hegemony. That will be the most intense. The people watching from afar can be considered to have seen what is called a true genius. They are clearly very young, but they are already at the initial stage of the spirit martial realm. What is even more terrifying is that they are only at the initial stage of the spirit martial realm, yet they have the strength comparable to a mid or late stage spirit martial realm. If it was an ordinary mid or late stage spirit martial master, they would not have the confidence to win against Jian Ruyan or Jian Nanhu. The battle is extremely intense. Qin Yin can also see that Jian Nanhu's true strength is indeed very strong. Xiao Yun, this Jian Nanhu is really very powerful. The last time he fought with you, he was defeated by you before he even used his strongest power. No wonder he was so unconvinced. Ling Yun'er said, and if I were to fight him again, it would definitely not be that easy. Qin Yin said, not necessarily. If you fight him again, if you use a weapon, you might be able to end the battle quickly. Ling Yun'er said, when experts exchange blows, sometimes victory or defeat is decided in one move. Jian Nanhu really did not go easy on Jian Ruyan. He had already stabbed Jian Ruyan's shoulder with his sword. Jian Ruyan's shoulder is in pain, and her sword attack is much slower, causing her rhythm to become disrupted. I admit defeat. She quickly retreated to the side of the barrier and shouted. Jian Nanhu also quickly chased after her. The tip of his sword is on Jian Ruyan's other shoulder. If Jian Ruyan does not admit defeat, the sword will pierce through. Little sister Yin, your progress is quite big. Not bad, not bad. Jian Nanhu nodded. Jian Ruyan sighed, and then walked out of the barrier. She looked at Granny Ma and said, I've lost. Even if you lose, I will consider taking you into the Lawkeeper Hall. Granny Ma patted Jian Ruyan's shoulder. Lu Jingming also quickly delivered the medicine. Jian Nanhu also walked over and checked on Jian Ruyan's injuries. Bao Changsho looked at Granny Ma and said, Granny Ma, there shouldn't be many disciples in our immortal weapon city who can fight, right? Is there really a disciple in our immortal weapon city who can match up to Jian Nanhu? Chapter 622. Weak conditions. When Granny Ma said this, everyone looked at Qin Yun in unison. The person who defeated Jian Nanhu is actually Qin Yun. This caused a very noisy uproar. Everyone began to question and exclaim in surprise. Qin Yun sat on the ground to heal his injuries. When he heard this, he pretended to be at a loss and said, Granny Ma, can you not speak nonsense? I can't even defeat Jian Ruyan. How can I defeat Jian Nanhu? Bao Changsho nodded and said, Granny Ma, Qin Yun is really not Jian Nanhu's match. Although he has a Xian body, Tian Yaolei also has a terrifying physical body. He is still not Jian Nanhu's match. Granny Ma cursed Qin Yun in her heart. The last time they entered the Ghost Grass Devil Forest, she was the one who arranged for Qin Yun to block the Jian family disciple. Furthermore, Qin Yun defeated that disciple. Now, Qin Yun actually denied it. Jian Nanhu said with a frown, It's not Qin Yun. I saw Qin Yun's battle just now. His Dao power aura is different from the person I'm familiar with. Jian Nanhu, then let me ask you, the person who defeated you in the Ghost Grass Devil Forest, did he use a saber? Does he use a knife? Granny Ma asked. No, he didn't use a weapon. Jian Nanhu said again and clenched his fist tightly. This caused everyone to cry out in alarm again. When Jian Nanhu fought, he would definitely use a sword. However, the person who defeated him did not use a weapon. This kind of strength is simply heaven-defying. Jian Ruyan coldly snorted and said, Qin Yun loves sneak attacks the most. He definitely won't fight with others barehanded. It's impossible for him to defeat Brother Hu. Female hero is right. If I were to fight with others in the Ghost Grass Devil Forest, I would definitely use talismans, weapons, or throwing knives to easily defeat my opponent. Qin Yun said with a smile, Female hero, you are truly my bosom friend. Scram, who's bosom friend with you? Jian Ruyan immediately flew into a rage and shouted. Granny Ma stomped her feet in anger and shouted, Qin Yun, stop pretending. The last time I brought you into the Ghost Grass Devil Forest to carry out a mission, I told you to stop a disciple of the Sword Immortal Pavilion. Granny Ma, I'm just an outer sect disciple. How could I follow you to carry out a mission? I've been grinding points in the fantasy field. Okay? Qin Yun curled his lips. Granny Ma quickly looked at Lu Jingming and said, Jingming, Qin Yun went with you to catch the Xian mushroom spirit beast last time. Really? But everyone is wearing a mask. I can't recognize them. Lu Jingming looked at Qin Yun and asked, Big Brother Yun, did you come with me last time? No. Qin Yun revealed a mouthful of pure white teeth and said with a smile. Granny Ma really wanted to slap Qin Yun's white teeth. He actually spoke so naturally. Jian Shitian looked at Bao Changsho and said, Old Bao, my grandson came here only to be defeated. Quickly invite that guy out. Don't you owe me one? Now is the best time to return the favor, and it won't take much effort on your part. If back then, Bao Changsho's life was not saved by Jian Shitian, he would not be in the half-immortal realm today. Therefore, he values this favor very much. Sectmaster, I'm sure that person is Qin Yun, Granny Ma said. We've known each other for so many years. Why would I lie to you? Granny Ma, this is impossible. Jian Ruyan is unable to accept such a thing. Because in her eyes, Qin Yun is a very sinister fellow. How could he possibly defeat Jian Nanhu with his bare hands? Jian Nanhu also felt that Qin Yun is not the person he met. Bao Changsho looked at Granny Ma's eyes and let out a long sigh. He looked at Qin Yun and said, Qin Yun, it doesn't matter if you were the one who defeated Jian Nanhu or not. What's important is that you must defeat Jian Nanhu today. Immortal Weapons Sect Master, I don't have that kind of strength, and I'm also injured, Qin Yun said with a troubled expression. Granny Ma said in a low voice, Sect Master, this kid wants to negotiate with you. If you don't give him benefits, don't expect him to listen to you. Qin Yun, as long as you can defeat Jian Nanhu, it will be equivalent to helping me repay Jian Shirqian's favor. I will be very grateful to you. I'll give you 10 Origin Spirit Xian pills. How about it? Bao Changshu said. 10 Origin Spirit Xian pills, this is a lot. Jian Rian lightly snorted and said, This despicable fellow, even if you give him 100 or 1,000 pills, he still won't be able to defeat Brother Hu. Everyone is also extremely excited. 10 Origin Spirit Xian pills is not a small amount. Qin Yun secretly despised Bao Changshu in his heart. 10 Origin Spirit Xian pills, and he wants to repay Jian Shirqian's favor? Immortal Weapon Sect Master. The favor you owe Senior Jian Shirqian, is it only worth 10 Origin Spirit Xian pills? Qin Yun said. This, 20 pills, how about it? Bao Changshu suddenly understood why Granny Ma did not reveal Qin Yun earlier. It was because she expected that Qin Yun would bargain. Everyone burst into an uproar. It actually increased to 20 pills. Sect Master, so what if we give him 100 pills? He can't win against Brother Hu. Jian Rian said with certainty. Sister Yin, if he wins against Brother Hu, will you pay for the 100 Origin Spirit Xian pills? Jian Mang chuckled. Jian Rian glared at Jian Mang and no longer said a word. When Qin Yun saw Bao Changshu raise the price, he prepared to activate his innate skill Heavenly Lion Big Mouth. Immortal Weapons Sect Master, promise me 4 things. First, let me become a disciple of the Immortal Weapon City again. Second, revoke the punishment of imprisoning me for 100 years. Third, give me 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills. Fourth, give me a tax exemption. Qin Yun said. Why don't he go and die? Yang Shenglong immediately shouted. This is also what Bao Changshu, Granny Ma, and many others wanted to say. Qin Yun said with a faint smile, Whether I agree or not is up to the Immortal Weapons Sect Master. I can fight or not. I'm injured now. If I go on stage to compete, I might be seriously injured or even killed. I'm taking a huge risk to fight. Sect Master, don't agree to him. I, Yang Shenglong, can defeat Jian Nanhu. Yang Shenglong immediately shouted. You? I'd rather believe that Qin Yun can defeat Brother Hu than you. Jian Rian looked at Yang Shenglong with disdain. Granny Ma knew that Qin Yun would definitely take the opportunity to bargain. Bao Changshu is also considering it. Sure, I might not be able to defeat Jian Nanhu, Qin Yun said with a smile. The people from the Long, Tian, and Yang families are all extremely nervous. They are very worried that Qin Yun would really be able to defeat Jian Nanhu, because at that time, Qin Yun would be able to return to the Immortal Weapon City. Furthermore, the Sect Master would definitely protect Qin Yun. In this way, their actions today would be meaningless. Instead, they would have to sacrifice a few disciples. Qin Yun was originally imprisoned for 100 years. Because of the disturbance caused by his family, he was expelled from the Immortal Weapon City and avoided punishment. This was originally a mistake. If Bao Changshu agreed to Qin Yun's conditions, then Qin Yun would be fine. He could even become a new disciple of the Immortal Weapon City. Jian Ruyin used her knee to gently nudge Qin Yun, who was sitting on the ground, and asked softly, Dead man, did you really defeat Brother Hu? Yes, do you believe me? Qin Yun laughed. You bastard, you're so fake and not sincere at all. Jian Ruyin bared her teeth and snorted. I have no one to rely on. If I wasn't a bit treacherous, I wouldn't have been able to live until now. Unlike you, the proud daughter of the Jian family, no one dares to provoke you, and they all hide far away from you. Qin Yun sighed and said, Like me, whenever I get something good, I'll be surrounded by a large group of wolves to snatch it away. He looked fiercely at the people from the Medicine Immortal Valley and the Long family, These bastards, Jin Shirtian said. Old Bao, if Qin Yun can really defeat Ahu, it means that he is more outstanding than Ahu. Even if your immortal weapon city doesn't accept him, my sword immortal pavilion will accept him as a disciple. Senior, I use a saber, Qin Yun said. It's fine, saber and sword are inseparable. Demon Moon Island made an exception to accept a man like you as a disciple. It's not a big deal for me to make an exception and accept you. Jin Shirtian laughed. Hearing Jin Shirtian's words, the Medicine Immortal Valley and the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain gnashed their teeth in hatred. Jin Shirtian is obviously not afraid of them. All right, Qin Yun, I promise you. How could Bao Changsho not know Qin Yun's talent? It was only because Qin Yun entered the forbidden area and violated the sect rules that he chased Qin Yun out. Furthermore, that forbidden area is the territory of another Immortal Weapon City expert. Even the Immortal Weapon City's sect master is afraid of that expert. That's right. Qin Yun chuckled and then slowly stood up. Looking at his beaming smile, he doesn't seem to be seriously injured at all. Qin Yun took off the robe on his body. The skin on his arms is still cracked, but the wound is not as deep as before. It's just a shallow crack on the skin. However, Lu Jingming's heart ached when she saw this. Let's begin, Qin Yun said. Wait, you're injured and I've fought a few battles before, so I'm a bit tired. We should be able to recover after resting for 4 hours, right? Jian Nanhu shouted. He also did not want to take advantage of Qin Yun. Up to you, Qin Yun said casually, as if he has a card up his sleeve. Lu Jingming said softly, Brother Yun, let me help you heal your injuries. My Xian medicine is very useful. Look at big sister Ruyan. Her injuries are almost healed, and there are no scars left. Qin Yun put on his robe and said with a smile, Jingming, thank you. I can heal myself. Can you help me with a small matter? If I can do it, I'll definitely help you. Lu Jingming quickly nodded. Help me refine a Xian saber embryo. Complete it in 3 hours. Qin Yun said with a smile. Can you do it? Yes. Lu Jingming nodded very confidently. Qin Yun actually asked Lu Jingming to help him refine tools. This made people unable to guess what he wanted to do. Lu Jingming quickly took out her refining tools. The furnace and forging hammer are both very good. Qin Yun took out a large vat and set up a small barrier on top of the vat to prevent the aura from leaking out. Then, he let out blood into the vat. Brother Yun, what are you doing? Lu Jingming just finished setting up her tools and saw Qin Yun letting out blood. She shouted in alarm. Use my blood to refine a Xian tool embryo. Qin Yun smiled. Only a weapon refined this way can be connected to my flesh and blood. Chapter 623. 623, Chapter 623, Heavenly Lion Xian Saber. Jingming, this is a very mysterious blood essence refinement technique. I will teach you later via voice transmission. Qin Yun smiled mysteriously and took out another large vat. Inside this vat, there's a lot of golden viscous liquid like golden mud. Beast oil, and it is even refined king-grade beast oil. The bald old man has already arrived at Lu Jingming's side. Lu Jingming wants to refine tools, and as her grandfather, he has to watch from the side. Jingming, you will use this vat of beast oil to burn the materials. Later, Qin Yun took out a large pile of purple gold bones. Those are high-quality heavenly beast bones carefully selected by Ling Yun, and he. Moreover, they're the horn bones of heavenly beasts, and they are all very strong. Qin Yun, can Meng Meng refine those materials? Do you need my help? When the bald old man saw the heavenly beast bones, he was also shocked. No, let Jingming do it herself. She can do it. Qin Yun asked Lu Jingming to help refine tools because she has a mortal body. Ling Yun said that the Tao power that Lu Jingming is releasing now contains immortal energy. If it is used to refine tools, it can improve the quality. The people of Medicine Immortal Valley and Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are gnashing their teeth because Qin Yun got them from the Heavenly Beast Desolate Domain. Qin Yun you really have a lot of heavenly beast bones that you haven't handed over. An old man from a family power shouted angrily. So what? Is there a rule that says that it must be handed over? And when I entered the heavenly beast desolate domain, I did not go through your gate. I found my own way in, Qin Yin said coldly. Lu Jingming is also very busy. There is no time to speak. She is processing the beast bones and putting them into the furnace. This beast oil is really heavy. Lu Jingming used a special ladle and scooped a ladle into the furnace to strengthen the flame. And Lu Jingming will also inject her own power to fuse with the beast oil fire. A few thousand genes a ladle. The bald old man tried it and was surprised. Qin Yin, where did you get the beast oil? Jian Shitian walked over and asked curiously. I got it from the heavenly beast desolate domain, Qin Yin said. In fact, this is the beast oil from a mysterious bottle, but it has been refined by him. The quality of this beast oil was very high, making people suspect that it was heavenly beast oil. Qin Yin, you are truly rich. Jian Rian lightly snorted and said. Lu Jingming burned the beast bones with beast oil and poured Qin Yun's blood into it from time to time. When she extracted the blood from the vat, she used the special container that Qin Yun gave her. What surprised Lu Jingming was that when Qin Yun's blood entered the fierce furnace, it did not vaporize. She also knew that it was because the blood was very strong. Qin Yun transmitted his voice to her, instructing her on how to refine it. The steps were extremely detailed. Although Lu Jingming is usually stupid, she has a very high talent in refining. Even Qin Yun found it inconceivable that she could understand it. Lu Jingming, who has entered the state of refining talisman, is very serious. Because she is helping Qin Yun refine the artifact, she released her powerful immortal flame with all her strength. Combined with the king grade beast oil, she burned the materials. In addition to the beast bones, there were also Xian Yuan steel and other materials, some of which were added by the bald man. Because the flame was very fierce, it only took half an hour for Lu Jingming to burn the material and then take it out for forging. The forging hammer she used is actually an ancient Dao tool. It is also very good. Furthermore, while forging, she can release a trace of immortal power. Lu Jingming's control over immortal power is very strong. She can very well forge the immortal power into the materials. When everyone saw this cute little girl forging the embryo of a Xian tool, they all exclaimed in admiration again and again. Qin Yun, you want to refine tools to fight brother, who, right? Jian Meng asked. And Qin Yun nodded. How can I not have a good weapon? Granny Ma said. Is there no problem with the Xian tool that has just been refined? It hasn't been refined yet, so it's not very compatible, right? That's why I used blood essence to refine it. Qin Yun said with a smile. This is a method to refine Dao tools. In the ancient era, this is how it came about. Qin Yun has an ancient Dao tool, and he also knows this kind of ancient refining technique. This is shocking. Bao Chansho watched from the side with wide eyes. He is very happy in his heart because Lu Jingming's talent in refining is very high. Although Jian Shitian has a genius grandson like Jian Nanhu, and there are also talented young inscription masters in the Sword Immortal Pavilion. However, he felt that Lu Jingming and Qin Yun are even more outstanding. Hu Jingxian pouted as she watched. She secretly cursed Qin Yun in her heart because she really wanted to pull Qin Yun into Demon Moon Island, but Qin Yun refused no matter what. When Lu Jingming was forging the embryo, she would also carve some dark runes to absorb Qin Yun's blood. This is also the essence of the blood essence tempering technique. 1.5 hours passed. Lu Jingming used a vat of royal-grade beast oil and a vat of Qin Yun's blood to refine a Xian saber embryo. Jingming, it's been hard on you. Thank you, Qin Yun said with a smile. You're welcome. I also want to thank Brother Yun for letting me learn a lot of things. Although Lu Jingming is very tired, she is very happy. Next, it is time for Qin Yun to carve runes. He took out the mental resonance Xian pen and began carving runes. When he was carving the totem runes, Chu Binyu, Mu Feng, the bald old man, and a few other Xian inscription masters all stared with wide eyes. wanted to see what kind of runes he is carving. Jian Nanhu is also beside Jian Shirtian. He frowned as he watched Qin Yun carve the totem runes. He suddenly recalled that when he was in the Ghost Grass Devil Forest, the person he met had a better understanding of runes. This made him suddenly believe that Qin Yun is the person who defeated him. However, he still doesn't dare to be sure. Ahu, your opponent is a Xian inscription master. If you lose to him, it might be a bit shameful. Jian Shirtian placed his hand on Jian Nanhu's shoulder and said, Jian Shirtian is very old, but his grandson is very young. That is also because Jian Shirtian's son is rather dissolute. Furthermore, some experts, in order to make their descendants outstanding, would constantly find women to give birth to children until they gave birth to a child with good talent. Those with bad talent, regardless of gender, would be given to others by them. They did not feel the slightest bit of heartache. Therefore, sometimes some experts are very old but have very young descendants. This is also the reason. You are carving totem runes? The bald man asked in surprise. And Qin Yun did not say what totem he is carving. What he is carving now is the Heavenly Lion Totem Rune. Heavenly Lion Totem is a fire attribute beast totem. Qin Yun has the Beast King inscription spirit and the Violent Fire inscription spirit. Carving this fire attribute beast totem is very fast, and the details are also very high. It's great to have these two inscription spirits. Qin Yun's pen moved like dragons and snakes is extremely easy. Very quickly, he completed the Heavenly Lion Totem Rune. He is only carving the Heavenly Lion Totem Rune. Originally, he wanted to carve star and moon runes as well as Xian runes. However, there is not enough time. It will take him a very long time to carve the star and moon runes on a Xian tool unless he has the two inscription spirits, Star Lord and Moon Lady. Qin Yun held the hilt of the saber and secretly poured in the power of the Heavenly Lion Bone spirit. The saber suddenly trembled and let out a low roar. Hearing that low roar, Jian Shirtian's expression immediately turned grave, because he heard the rumor that Qin Yun has the Heavenly Lion Totem Rune in the Martial Desolate. In fact, the upper echelons of the great aristocratic families have also heard the report in this regard. It's just that they are temporarily unable to confirm it. However, what they can confirm is that Qin Yun and Yangshi, you have a very good relationship. Only the upper echelons of the various powers know about Qin Yun's report in the Martial Desolate. Jian Nanhu tightly gripped the sword in his hand and said, My sword is an ancient Dao sword. Qin Yun, if you still have any ancient Dao artifacts, take them out and use them. You can't use this saber. Not necessarily. Qin Yun smiled and stood up. After he took off his robe, the places that were riddled with scars have all healed. There are only some bloodstains left. Jian Nanhu knows that Qin Yun has some strength, but he is not afraid at all. Brother Hu, don't be afraid of him. You will definitely win. Qin Yun can't even defeat me, let alone you. Jian Rian said very confidently. Jian Nanhu's sword is a Dao tool. Furthermore, it has a black sword martial spirit and sword totem. No matter how you look at it, it is stronger than Qin Yun's. Qin Yun looked at the Dao saber in his hand and thought, let's call it Heavenly Lion Mystic Saber. Jian Nanhu entered the battle arena and raised his head to look at Qin Yun. His face is filled with arrogance. Qin Yun also walked in. He fought with Jian Nanhu before and even defeated him. In that battle, Qin Yun did not use his full strength. Jian Nanhu also did not use his full strength. Therefore, he is very confident that if he were to meet the same person, he would definitely be able to defeat the other party. Qin Yun, in order to defeat you, I might seriously injure you. I will try my best to be merciful, Jian Nanhu said. And I know. Qin Yun nodded. Jian Nanhu did not hold back when he fought with Jian Ruyan. If not for Jian Ruyan admitting defeat, she would have been seriously injured. Regardless of whether you are the one who defeated me or not, you will be defeated by me today. Your strength is not bad. You're qualified to fight me. You are also the last person in the Immortal Weapon City who has the strength to fight me. Jian Nanhu said, That's not right. In the Immortal Weapon City, There's a martial master at the initial stage of the spirit martial realm who can defeat you, Qin Yun said with a smile. Who? Jian Nanhu fiercely frowned and asked in a deep voice. Is it the person who defeated me last time? Jian Ruyan, Granny Ma, and Bao Changshu are also very curious. They looked at Qin Yun, waiting for his answer. Jingming, Qin Yun said. I don't believe it. Jian Nanhu looked at the shy little girl and snorted. Ask your grandfather, Qin Yun said. Jian Shirtan nodded. Who? If Lu Jingming were to fight you with her life on the line, you wouldn't be able to withstand 100 moves from her. Granny Ma and Bao Changshu also know how powerful Lu Jingming is. That's because Lu Jingming has an immortal body. This is a heaven-defying physique that can crush all directions. Everyone can't believe that this cute little girl actually has such terrifying power. Chapter 624. Falling twice in one pit. Although Lu Jingming is very strong, Granny Ma and Bao Changshu will definitely not let her go on stage because she is not good at fighting. Of course, if she were to fight with her life on the line, Lu Jingming's strength is indeed very terrifying. Although Jian Nanhu loves to fight, he can also see that Lu Jingming is very precious. Otherwise, Granny Ma would have let her fight a long time ago. Bao Changshu would rather agree to Qin Yun's conditions than let Lu Jingming fight. From this, one can see the reason. All of you prepare yourselves, Jian Shirtian said. Qin Yun and Jian Nanhu walked to the edge of the barrier and nodded to Jian Shirtian. Begin, Jian Shirtian shouted loudly. Everyone is attentively looking at Jian Nanhu. Jian Nanhu was the first to attack. His attack is incomparably powerful. He is using almost all of his power. Many seniors could see that Jian Nanhu used the divine ability sword shakes the heaven and earth. He condensed the power of the divine ability on his sword and then charged at Qin Yun. The terrifying sword intent condensed in this sword pierced through the barrier, causing people to feel incomparably terrifying. Everyone present can clearly sense Jian Nanhu's sword intent. They all know that Jian Nanhu's sword is aimed at Qin Yun's throat. Those people who are filled with resentment towards Qin Yun are immediately pleasantly surprised. Because the moment Jian Nanhu attacked, he could tell from the sword intent that Qin Yun will definitely lose. Jian Nanhu has such a terrifying sword intent. If one doesn't have an extremely strong power, it is impossible to dodge or resist. When Lu Jingming sensed Jian Nanhu's sword intent, her eyes couldn't help but moisten. She quickly closed her eyes. She is very worried that something would happen to Qin Yun and tightly hugged Jian Ruyan's arm. Jian Ruyan never expected that Lu Jingming would have such a different kind of feeling towards Qin Yun. It is not the kind of feeling between a man and a woman. It is only a sincere friendship. Lu Jingming lacks friends. She doesn't have any good friends at all, especially those who have something in common with each other. Furthermore, Qin Yun treats her very well, making her feel warm. He is a big brother who treats her very well. She really doesn't want anything to happen to Qin Yun. In just a short moment, many people's moods had undergone a huge change. Some people feel regret. Some people feel joy. As for Lu Jingming and a few other friends of Qin Yun, they all feel sad. Jian Nanhu arrived in front of Qin Yun in an instant. His sword pierced through Qin Yun's throat. At this moment, even Jian Ruyan felt an indescribable sadness. It might be because of Lu Jingming's influence. You lost. Jian Nanhu laughed disdainfully. I thought you were very strong, but you're only SOSO. You are much weaker than those guys from before. You're not the person I'm looking for. Qin Yun's throat was pierced. Although some blood flowed out, there was not a lot of blood. Everyone thinks that it is because Jian Nanhu's sword is still in Qin Yun's throat, blocking the blood. Jian Nanhu's face is filled with pride. Just as he was about to pull out his sword, he discovered that his sword seems to be connected to Qin Yun's throat and is unable to be pulled out. The complacent Jian Nanhu is suddenly alarmed. Also at this time, Qin Yun suddenly released a super gravity. Boom! Super gravity fiercely burst out and pressed down on Jian Nanhu's body, causing his entire body to become incomparably heavy. When Jian Nanhu was in the ghost grass devil forest, he was also attacked by Qin Yun. At this moment, he completely believes that the Qin Yun in front of him is the person who defeated him in the ghost grass devil forest. Jian Nanhu is incomparably shocked. The moment he was pressed down by the supergravity, he tightly gripped the sword hilt and wanted to pull it out. However, the sword was sucked in by Qin Yun's throat. What he did not expect the most is that the sword suddenly surged with a violent vibration, thunder, and lightning. Through his pierced neck, Qin Yun poured the vibration, thunder, and lightning power into Jian Nanhu's sword. Violent thunder and lightning power bombarded Jian Nanhu's hand through the vibration wave. Jian Nanhu shouted loudly and let go of the sword hilt. Seeing this scene, everyone is dumbstruck. Qin Yun's throat is pierced by a sword, but he is completely fine. This is extremely strange. The most terrifying thing is that Qin Yun is still able to release a very strong power, causing Jian Nanhu to squat down. Furthermore, Jian Nanhu's sword-wielding hand was also charred black by the violent thunder and lightning power. Qin Yun's lightning fast punch landed on Jian Nanhu's cheek. He used the 9 extinction primordial power to unleash vibration and thunder and lightning power. Boom! Jian Nanhu's cheek was punched by Qin Yun. At the same time, it exploded and split open. He also flew out and crashed into the barrier. Soon after, Qin Yun leaped to the sky above Jian Nanhu and punched the ground again. Violent vibration, thunder, Tao power transformed into a black palm that smashed down like a mountain. Bang! Jian Nanhu vomited blood from this palm strike. Qin Yun landed on the ground and placed his saber on Jian Nanhu's throat. He said indifferently, "You've lost." Everyone present is incomparably quiet. Jian Nanhu was really defeated. Furthermore, he was defeated by Qin Yun in a few moves. When Qin Yun was fighting with Hua Siye, he seemed to have fought for quite a long time. But now, when dealing with Jian Nanhu, he defeated him very easily. This is unbelievable. After a moment of silence, a burst of surprised discussion broke out. Jian Nanhu is lying on the ground, vomiting blood from his mouth. "It's really you? Good, very good. I know who you are. I will definitely defeat you. I admit defeat." Jian Nanhu shouted loudly. Jian Shirtan let out a long sigh. He removed the barrier and walked in. Granny Ma cursed in a low voice. "This brat Qin Yun, he refused to admit it even if he died. He dared to trick me. This swindler Qin Yun, he is clearly so powerful, but yet he pretended to be as weak as a pig." Jian Rian also cursed in a low voice. "In the immortal weapon fantasy field, he deliberately lost to me in order to swindle my Xian beast bone." Qin Yun slowly pulled out the sword from his throat. His expression revealed a trace of pain. "I'll return it to you." Qin Yun handed the sword to the heavily injured Jian Nanhu. After Jian Nanhu received it, he gritted his teeth and said, "Qin Yun, I will definitely find you again." Jian Nanhu, your biggest weakness is that you rely too much on weapons. Qin Yun smiled. When you attacked, you placed everything on this sword. From that moment on, you lost. After Jian Nanhu heard this, he fiercely stabbed the sword in front of Qin Yun. "If I don't win against you, I won't take back this sword." Jian Shirtian sighed and said, "Ahu, your strength is strong enough. It's just that some variables have appeared. I didn't take into account the variables and was unable to deal with the sudden variables. That's also because I don't have the ability." Jian Nanhu blamed himself very much. He lost to the same person again. Furthermore, the opponent did not use a weapon and he was killed in a few moves. The Xian saber that Qin Yun just refined did not participate in the battle. To Jian Nanhu, this is a great humiliation. Jian Shirtian said, "Qin Yun has a powerful Xian body. Ordinary weapons are unable to injure him. Furthermore, he is still hiding other powers. Otherwise, when your sword pierced his neck, the powerful power that poured into his body would be enough to destroy his tendons and veins. His neck was only pierced. He didn't bleed, and he can even speak. That doesn't affect him at all. This is all because he has a powerful physical body. To be able to cultivate such a powerful physical body, I'm afraid he must have gone through a lot of tempering. Jian Nanhu clearly remembers the scene of him competing with Qin Yun in the ghost grass devil forest. At that time, when his sword stabbed into Qin Yun's shoulder, it was stuck by Qin Yun's bones and was unable to stab any further. At that time, he knew that Qin Yun's body is very strong. Although I won, I still have to thank you. We'll meet in the martial arts tournament, Qin Yun said with a smile, and then looked at Bao Changsho. He won, and Bao Changsho had to agree to his conditions. All right, Jian Nanhu is still very unconvinced because this time, he was still not able to fight to his heart's content and was killed by Qin Yun. Jian Shitian packed up the barrier he set up and prepared to leave with Jian Nanhu. At this moment, a half-immortal from the Yang family walked over and said, Qin Yun, Yang Yinxing is still in your hands, right? Is he still alive? He's still alive. Qin Yun nodded. Then hurry up and let him go. The Yang family's half-immortal's voice is cold and angry. He wanted to kill me back then. Why should I let him go? Qin Yun said with a sneer. Bao Changsho hurriedly walked over and stood in front of Qin Yun. Old Bao, quickly get Qin Yun to release the people from our Yang family. The Yang family's half-immortal elder shouted. That's a grudge between the two of you. Settle it yourselves. Bao Changsho said. Seeing how powerful Qin Yun is, he also planned to protect Qin Yun. Even if the white-masked woman pressured him, he still wanted to keep Qin Yun in the Immortal Weapon City. Qin Yun, what do you want in order to release Yang Yinxing? The Yang family's half-immortal asked. 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills. Qin Yun said. In your dreams. The Yang family's half-immortal said angrily. Then forget it. After Qin Yun finished speaking, he turned around and walked towards the entrance of the Immortal Weapon Palace. Wait, the half-immortal elder shouted. Let me see that person first. Qin Yun released the tied-up Yang Yinxing from a beast bag. Yang Yinxing is sleeping soundly, and he looks extremely weak. He is a Xian martial realm martial monarch. He is definitely worth 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills. His condition is very good, Qin Yun said. All right, here are 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills for you. Encountering such a thing, the Yang family could only accept it. They all knew very well how valuable a Xian martial realm martial monarch was. Furthermore, if they did not redeem their own people, their Yang family would be laughed at. Qin Yun obtained another 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills. The reason why he wanted a large number of Origin Spirit Xian pills was also to cultivate his mental power. The Origin Spirit Xian pills could increase his mental power cultivation, and he needed to transform his mind into a star. He definitely needed to absorb more energy. Qin Yun returned Yang Yinxing. The half-immortal elder took Yang Yinxing and looked at him. Immediately, he became furious. He's been crippled. Of course, he wanted to kill me back then. If I didn't cripple him, he might have killed me in the future. Qin Yun did not show any mercy to the Yang family members. The people from the Long family were originally angry because of the death of Long Quanghong and a patriarch. Now, when they saw the Yang family's half-immortal suffer such a big loss, they felt extremely pleased in their hearts and found a bit of balance. The onlookers all prostrated themselves in admiration of Qin Yun. He actually dared to trick the Yang family's half-immortal. I'm going to kill you. The Yang family's half-immortal bellowed furiously and took out a spear that shone with golden light. A dense king's domineering aura surged out. Chapter 6:25. Start again after the Yang family's half-immortal summoned his spear. He stabbed at Qin Yun with lightning speed. Bao Changsho's skinny hand grabbed the spear's shaft at an unknown time. Impudent! How could Bao Changsho let others kill his disciple in front of him? You dare to be so arrogant in front of the Immortal Weapon Palace's entrance? Do you still want to go back alive? Bao Changsho's entire body surged with mist. The dense half-immortal power made it hard for everyone to breathe. Qin Yun looked at the spear and is secretly astonished. A king tool evolved from a Dao tool. It is said that there is no method to refine a king tool. Of course, This is only a legend. If there is a way to refine an immortal tool, then a king tool can definitely be refined as well. Of course, if it evolved from a Dao tool, it would be easier. The Yang family's half-immortal was also infuriated earlier. After all, he was tricked by Qin Yun. Jian Rian, who is standing by the side, is secretly alarmed. She finally witnessed Qin Yun's enormous courage. He actually swindled a half-immortal's origin spirit Xian pill without batting an eyelid. She felt that in the immortal weapon fantasy field, those who provoked Qin Yun were truly courting death. Scram! Bao Changshu roared angrily, forcing the Yang family's half-immortal to retreat. The immortal weapon city is an immortal sect with an immortal origin. It means that it can nurture people at the half-immortal realm. Therefore, there are some powerful half-immortal experts hidden inside the immortal weapon palace. Although the Yang family has a few half-immortals, they are all relatively old. If they were to really fight, they would definitely not be able to fight against a half-immortal like Bao Changshu, who is full of energy. Qin Yun, you will definitely die a miserable death at our hands. The Yang family's half-immortal said in a deep voice, "Let's go." All the Yang family disciples in the immortal weapon city leave the immortal weapon city. As expected, the people of the Yang family have all left the immortal weapon city and followed their family members. An outstanding disciple like Yang Shenlong, even if he went to other immortal sects, there would still be people who would accept him. Qin Yun saw Ji Lang earlier. He is at the Medicine Immortal Valley side. Qin Yun, you must live until the martial arts tournament begins. I want my sword back from your hands. Jian Nanhu walked over and said, I don't really want that broken sword of yours. Qin Yun smiled. I'm also worried that I won't be able to control myself and will pawn it. You dare. Jian Nanhu became anxious and shouted loudly. That sword was connected to his feelings. I feel that you won't be able to beat me in your entire life, so that sword also belongs to me. It's not a big deal for me to sell it. Qin Yun chuckled. Jian Nanhu really wants to slap Qin Yun, but he doesn't have the strength. Don't be too cocky. I'll definitely get first place in the martial arts tournament. At that time, you will have to return the sword to me. Jian Nanhu said. Let's go. Jian Shitian is also very open-minded. Jian Nanhu gave the Dao sword to Qin Yun, but he did not say anything because it is indeed Jian Nanhu's weakness. Jian Nanhu relied too much on that sword. Now that he threw the sword to Qin Yun, he is determined to throw away his weakness and make up for his own shortcomings. The people from the family clans no longer dared to force Bao Changshu to chase Qin Yun away, because Qin Yun's talent is truly too strong. Even someone like Jian Nanhu was killed in a few moves. Furthermore, there is Qin Yun's terrifying talent in inscription. A Xin inscription master who can fight very well is very rare. When Hu Jingxian saw that Qin Yun had passed this trial, she heaved a sigh of relief. After bidding farewell to Qin Yun, she left with the others from Demon Moon Island. Sect Master, 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills. Qin Yun said, Not at the moment. Give me a few days. Bao Changshu said with a frown. Qin Yun, follow me. I have something important to discuss with you. All right. Qin Yun nodded. Soon after, Bao Changshu brought Qin Yun and flew into the Immortal Weapon Palace. In an instant, they disappeared. It is unknown where they went. In a small pavilion on top of the mountain in the Immortal Weapon Palace, Qin Yun was brought by Bao Changshu to the balcony of the third floor and entered a study room. Qin Yun, the matter of you entering the forbidden area is very serious. Do you know that? Bao Changshu said sternly. I know I was wrong. I will never do it again. Qin Yun also wants to continue staying in the Immortal Weapon City. His goal is to cultivate an immortal body. Sigh. When Bao Changshu saw Qin Yun's sincere attitude, he sighed. To be honest, I don't know if I can protect you. You have offended a big shot. Qin Yun thought of the leader of the Black Cloth Corps, the white-masked woman. He accidentally saw that woman's body. It is normal for her to be very angry. That woman is at the half-immortal realm. Her status is definitely not low. Qin Yun never expected that Bao Changshu would be so afraid. the leader of the Black Cloth Corps? Qin Yun asked. That's right, it's her. Bao Changshu sighed. She was the one who asked Granny Ma to capture you. Of course, she is not targeting you. After all, you are the one who violated the sect rules first and trespassed into the forbidden area. Then, she wants to continue locking me up for 100 years? Qin Yun asked worriedly. Well, you were chased out first, and then you became a disciple of our immortal weapon city. So it's hard to say. Bao Changshu shook his head. As for the specifics, I still have to ask her and see her attitude. Sect Master, was it her idea to chase me out of the immortal weapon city? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, her status is so high and she doesn't want me to stay in the immortal weapon city. There's no point in me staying any longer. It wasn't her idea. It was my own decision. Besides, didn't I do you a favor? So that you don't have to go to jail. Bao Changshu smiled. Sect Master, go and tell that guild leader that I'm willing to apologize to her. Qin Yun said. Qin Yun, I heard some rumors about you in the Martial Desolate. You have the Heavenly Lion Totem? Bao Changshu looked at Qin Yun and asked. Qin Yun admitted. I also have the bloodline of the Heavenly Lion. Tell that guild leader. Maybe she will let me stay. Bao Changshu nodded in surprise. Looks like the rumors are true. If that lord had the intention to chase you away, she would have kicked you out long ago. There's no need for me to do anything. She might just want to punish you. Sect Master, can you arrange for me to meet her? I'll apologize to her in person. Qin Yun said. I'll try. Bao Changshu thought for a moment and said, remember my 50 Origin Spirit Xian pills. Also, if I want to become a main sect disciple, I heard that I need to pass your test. Qin Yun said again. Yes, but I have to confirm that big shot's attitude towards you before I can let you take the test. Bao Changshu said. Then hurry up, Qin Yun said somewhat anxiously. Bao Changshu chuckled and said, you rest here first. I'll go find that big shot now. He brought Qin Yun to a comfortable room and left in a hurry. Qin Yun lay on the bed and closed his eyes. Soon, he fell asleep. He also had 60 Origin Spirit Xian pills in his hands, but he felt that it was not enough. Under normal circumstances, as long as 870 to 80 Origin Spirit Xian pills, they would be able to cultivate an Origin Spirit and break through to the middle stage of the Spirit Martial Realm. As for Qin Yun's mental cultivation, it was extremely peculiar. He was currently in a state where his mind had transformed into a star. If he were to cultivate an Origin Spirit, it would transform into a moon. This would require him to consume a lot of Origin Spirit Xian pills. He felt that he might need 200 of them. Furthermore, after his mind transformed into a moon, there would be a huge risk. Previously, Jin Shutian had also said that it would cause a lot of evil Yin energy to accumulate in his body. Qin Yun was not afraid of such a thing. He had the 9 Yang Divine Spirit, so he could definitely suppress that evil Yin energy. At dawn, Qin Yun woke up and left his room. He went to Bao Changshu's study. Bao Changshu sat comfortably and read a book. When he saw Qin Yun wake up, he asked, have you more or less recovered? I've completely recovered. Qin Yun said with a smile. Sect Master, what did that big shot say? She doesn't want to see you, and furthermore, she doesn't want you to become a main sect disciple. Bao Changshu sighed and said, I don't know what she's thinking either. In short, this big shot is temperamental. Looks like I should leave this place. She doesn't welcome me at all. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, no, she said that she can't chase you out of the immortal weapon city. She also said that if I want to chase you away, I have to inform her. Bao Changshu hurriedly said, she doesn't seem to have any intention of chasing you away. Then what does she want? Qin Yun was also bewildered. I don't know. She said that if you want to become a main sect disciple, you have to go through a period of inspection. Bao Changshu said, Then will she still pursue the matter of me trespassing into the forbidden area? Qin Yun asked. She said that she can no longer pursue it, but she will give you a little punishment. Bao Changshu smiled and said, I'll say it, don't be angry. I won't be angry. Tell me. Qin Yun is also secretly guessing what kind of punishment it is. Everything you have in the immortal weapon fantasy field will be reset. If you enter the fantasy field, you'll have to start all over again. Bao Changsho said. Qin Yun's expression immediately changed as he said angrily, "How could she do this? I have a lot of good things in the fantasy field. My Shin Beast Bones, my points, my Shin Talismans. Whether you agree or not, when you enter the fantasy field again, you'll have to start from zero." Bao Changsho said with a smile, "This is also a test for you. Test her grandpa." Qin Yun cursed softly. "I still have a lot of points." He had around 10,000 points and was ranked first. Now he had nothing. "Qin Yun, you were expelled from the sect, and then you came back. You're just like a new disciple. There's nothing strange about that." Bao Changsho immediately comforted him. "Sect Master, didn't that big shot not have any intention of chasing me away? You were the one who chased me out of the immortal weapon city. You have to compensate me." Qin Yun curled his lips and said. Bao Changsho hurriedly took out a relatively large jade bottle and said with a smile, "These are 50 Origin Spirit Shin pills. Treat it as compensation. This is mine to begin with." Qin Yun took it and said angrily, "There's also the matter of tax exemption. You have to do it well for me." "Don't worry, I will definitely do what I promised you," Bao Changsho said with a smile. Qin Yun felt very uncomfortable as everything was reset. Chapter 626. Restricted. Bao Changsho brought Qin Yun to the outer sect area and sent him back to his original house. After Qin Yun returned, he saw Jian Meng sitting in the courtyard. "Jian Meng, how is the fantasy feel?" Qin Yun asked. "Sister Yin is ranked first with more than 6,000 points. The others are also rushing up one after another. The 10th place only has a little over 3,000 points. Your points are 0. Jian Meng said. "That tigress Jian Ruyan, how did her points suddenly increase by so much?" Qin Yun cursed softly. "She met the Black Cloth Corps," Jian Meng said with a smile. "Qin Yun, Sister Yan's strength is not bad. If she meets the Black Cloth Corps, she will be able to obtain a lot of points." Qin Yun recalled the special care the Black Cloth Corps gave Jian Ruyan. He felt secretly unhappy because he did not have such special care. "Jian Meng, I'm entering the immortal weapon city," Qin Yun said as he hurriedly returned to his room. After Qin Yun entered the immortal weapon city, he appeared in a desert. This place is Long Xiaofeng's territory. Qin Yun was secretly delighted. Then, he closed his eyes and looked at the map. He prepared to find Long Xiaofeng. However, just as he was about to set off, he suddenly sensed a dangerous aura approaching. "I'm so unlucky. I just entered the fantasy field, and there's already a powerful guy coming to deal with me." Qin Yun hurriedly fled. After he flew into the air, he saw a black shadow jump over and block his path. The person blocking him is a black-clothed man with a white mask. He is the leader of the Black Cloth Corps. "It's you," Qin Yun shouted as if he had seen a ghost. Just as he finished speaking, his body was frozen by a violent and ferocious ice-cold power. "Go to hell." The white-masked woman struck with her palm and shattered Qin Yun, who had turned into ice. Just like that, the moment Qin Yun entered the fantasy field, he was killed. Qin Yun got up from the bed and panted heavily. He cursed softly. "This woman is too much. I just entered and she already killed me." Qin Yun, who just entered the fantasy field, has nothing. His Shin body power is also unable to appear in the fantasy field. Otherwise, he would be able to use the power of the heavenly lion Shin body to resist ice and fire. Qin Yun lay on the bed and once again entered the fantasy field. This time, he appeared in the safe city. This way, he wouldn't be killed. Every time they were killed by the black-clothed men, they would lose 100 points. Right now, Qin Yun had negative 100 points. The disciples who paid attention to the martial Dao list also saw Qin Yun's name. When Qin Yun's points were reset to 0, everyone felt that it was very strange. But now, it actually became negative. Isn't that Qin Yun? He's finally back. It's a pity that he lost so many points and is being watched so closely by the Black Cloth Corps. This kid, who asked him to provoke the Black Cloth Corps. He must have a big headache now. Everyone said when they saw Qin Yun appear in the safe city. Qin Yun was indeed troubled. Others only knew that he had trespassed the forbidden area, but they did not know that he had seriously offended the guild leader. If this goes on, I won't be able to enter the top 10. Qin Yun walked back and forth, then began purchasing beast bones. As long as he had the beast bone, he would be able to refine talismans. At that time, he would be able to destroy the black cloth core again. But what made him depressed is that the beast bones in the fantasy field disappeared overnight, and there are no beasts outside. This meant that Qin Yun was unable to obtain the materials for refining talismans. Damn guy, he's finally starting to restrict me. Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. He's clearly targeting me. Qin Yun felt extremely helpless about this. He could only think of other ways. He did not have any points or any other equipment. His Xian body's power was restricted. If he were to encounter someone like Jian Ruyan, he would undoubtedly die. I'll go out of the city and take a look. Maybe I'll run into some good luck. Qin Yun hurriedly walked out of the safe city. Not long after he left the city, he saw the white masked woman suddenly appear in front of him. This time, he was not killed in an instant. He blocked a few moves, but was still killed in the end. Without the assistance of defensive equipment and other weapons, he was unable to kill the white masked woman. How preposterous! Qin Yun was once again killed by the white masked woman. He is infuriated. Xiao Yun, don't be angry. There will always be a way. Ling Yun it comforted him. Qin Yun took a few deep breaths and entered the fantasy field again. Looks like I can only fight that guy to the death. After he entered the fantasy field, he immediately left the city. Just like before, not long after he left the city, the white masked woman appeared again. You're following me very closely. Qin Yun sneered when he saw the white masked woman. I won't let you have an easy time unless you have enough strength to defeat me. The white masked woman said coldly. I will definitely defeat you. As Qin Yun spoke, he unleashed the 9 Extinction Primordial Power and struck out with Extinction Dragon Palm. The angry palm wind, like the roar of an angry dragon, turned into a pale golden palm shadow and covered the sky. The white masked woman gently waved her hand and dissipated Qin Yun's palm power. Then, in a flash, she appeared behind Qin Yun and punched out, penetrating Qin Yun's body. Die! The white masked woman laughed complacently. Then, she released a powerful ice-cold power and froze Qin Yun into an ice cube. Boom! The white masked woman leaped at Qin Yun and kicked him into pieces. After Qin Yun died, he rested for a moment and entered the fantasy field again. In less than an hour, he was killed 3 times, negative 300 points. If I can kill her once, I can get 5,000 points. Thinking about it carefully, it's still worth it. Qin Yun comforted himself in his heart. He suddenly felt that this is also a very good training opportunity. Yes, if you don't rely on other things to kill that guy, it will allow your control of martial skills and energy to have a higher level of improvement. Ling Yun said. Qin Yun also thought so. I just got the piercing heavenly finger. It's time to learn it. Qin Yun came to his previous tent and began to study the cultivation technique. 2 to 3 hours later, he suddenly saw a black-clothed man walk in. Seeing the black-clothed man, Qin Yun was shocked. Because he was killed by the white-masked woman several times, he has a shadow in his heart. The black-clothed man who came in, wearing a mask, whispered, Qin Yun, it's me, Xiaofeng. Qin Yun was pleasantly surprised and said with a smile, I thought you didn't care about me anymore. How could that be? Long Xiaofeng snorted. Do I look like that kind of person? Why not? Qin Yun said with a smile. Long Xiaofeng snorted coldly and said, If you want points, you can kill my core. Long Xiaofeng's core is also worth several hundred points. I also want to kill, but I don't have any equipment right now. It's not easy to kill your core. Qin Yun sighed softly. If he wanted to quickly kill a core, he would need the help of throwing knives or improve his cultivation technique and martial arts. Then do you have any plans? If this goes on, you won't be able to enter the top 10 of the martial Dao list. Long Xiaofeng said. She is currently ranked 2nd. I will find a way. Qin Yun said, Xiaofeng, during this period of time, you should be busy. I will think of another way. Qin Yun has already decided to properly strengthen his martial arts and martial skills. Only by becoming stronger in this aspect can he defeat the white masked woman. Long Xiaofeng nodded and said, "All right, I believe that you will definitely be able to enter the top 10 of the martial Dao list." Qin Yun still has 9 extinction steps and extinction dragon palm to improve and the piercing heavenly finger. All of these do not rely on weapons. Right now, he has only mastered 2 of the 36 extinction dragon palms. Next, he wants to learn the third palm. The formidable part of the extinction dragon palm is that it can unleash consecutive palm strikes. After the first palm strike and the second palm strike, the second palm strike will absorb the power of the first palm strike. When the 2 palm strikes fuse, the power will increase by several times. The difficulty is to smoothly unleash 2 palm strikes in a row and, at the same time, not be interrupted by the opponent. 2 palm strikes require the use of powerful 9 extinction primordial power. There are also certain requirements for the palm power that erupts out. If he is not familiar with it, he will fail after 2 palm strikes. Qin Yun can only occasionally unleash 2 palm strikes. If he were to face the powerful white masked woman and suddenly be disturbed by the opponent's ice Dao power, he would fail and consume a lot of energy. It is already very difficult to unleash 2 palm strikes in a row at the same time, let alone 3 palm strikes in an instant. If he could grasp the opportunity and unleash 3 palm strikes in a row, he would definitely be able to kill the white masked woman. Of course, if he were to unleash 36 palm strikes in a row, the power would be unimaginable. Then there is the 9 extinction steps. This is a bit easier than the extinction dragon palm. Qin Yun feels that it is not too difficult to master it in a short period of time. Qin Yun stayed in the tent for a few days and felt that it is not possible to work behind closed doors. So he went out of the city. Not long after he left the city, the white masked woman arrived. This bastard is really persistent. That's fine, just treat her as my sparring partner. Qin Yun quickly used the 9 extinction steps flowing light extinction shadow and quickly moved to avoid the white masked woman's attack. While dodging, he also constantly ignited the fire Dao power in his body, which can avoid being affected by the opponent's ice Dao power. Whether it is speed or strength, the white masked woman is much stronger than Qin Yun. Qin Yun also knew that he could not hold on for long, so he quickly asked Ling Yun to use super gravity. The larger the range of Ling Yun's gravity, the weaker the gravity. Although it is a bit weak, because of the large coverage, it is easier to hit the target. If the coverage is reduced, the gravity is very strong, but if the opponent is fast, they can quickly avoid it. The white masked woman is the kind of person who is very fast, so she can only expand the coverage. The sudden appearance of super gravity shrouded the white masked woman's body, causing her to become a lot slower. Qin Yun quickly seized the opportunity and unleashed the extinction dragon palm. Ho! 2 palms instantly shot out and bombarded the white masked woman across the air. After the white masked woman was hit, she only let out a muffled groan, and then her body trembled and she broke through the supergravity. She instantly appeared in front of Qin Yun. Using her fastest speed and strongest strength, she punched out, blasting through Qin Yun's body, leaving behind a huge hole. Qin Yun, if you defeat me, I will let you enter that forbidden area. After the white masked woman finished speaking, she punched Qin Yun's head. Chapter 627. Vanishing Shadow. Qin Yun had always wanted to have a chat with the white masked woman. He also wanted to enter the forbidden area and use the immortal origin. Now, there was finally a chance. Could it be that the white masked woman did it for my own good? Qin Yun said with a frown. But that's impossible. She's very vengeful. Every time she sees me, she's full of resentment. Anyway, in the Immortal Weapon City, the white masked woman can't do anything to you. Ling Yun laughed. You have to hurry up and become stronger. Breaking through is not possible. Even if you eat those origin spirit Xiandan, you'll not be able to step into the middle stage of the spirit martial realm. You can only cultivate those martial arts. All right. Qin Yun suddenly missed Yang Shiryu. If Yang Shiryu was here to guide him in his cultivation, he would definitely be able to master it very quickly. Of course, his own comprehension was not bad, so it was easier for him to learn than others. Qin Yun realized that only by frequently engaging in life and death battles would he be able to grasp and comprehend the martial arts and martial techniques at a faster rate. Looks like I can only let the white-masked woman kill a few more times. Qin Yun tried to comprehend and learn by himself, but he always encountered difficulties. Now, he also decided to temporarily let the white-masked woman kill him. It would only be a temporary loss of points, and he would not be at a disadvantage because he could accumulate his comprehension of martial techniques. If he wanted to become stronger, he could only improve his martial skills. I wonder how strong Jian Nanhu will be during the martial arts struggle? Qin Yun suddenly thought of this problem because he felt that Jian Nanhu is also a very crazy guy. Moreover, his comprehension was extremely high, and he was very hardworking. After a few months of hard work, he would definitely make great progress. When that time came, he would definitely become even stronger. That's why you have to level up too. Ling Yuner said, in the martial arts competition, Jian Nanhu should not be the only opponent. There must be other powerful opponents. Qin Yun left the safe city. Many people knew that Qin Yun's negative several hundred points were caused by the leader of the Black Cloth Corps. The disciples of those family powers are all extremely happy because they believe that Qin Yun is being suppressed. Many people in the immortal weapon fantasy field also think so. Because Qin Yun had previously offended the Black Cloth Corps, it was normal for him to be retaliated against. The immortal weapon fantasy field suddenly lost the beast bones. It was obvious that it was caused by the Black Cloth Corps. One must know that for many years, the immortal weapon fantasy field had never experienced such a huge adjustment until Qin Yun caused so many things. Qin Yun is finished. It seems like he can only spend the rest of his life in a negative score. The leader of the Black Cloth Corps is so terrifying. It's impossible for Qin Yun to win. He went out again. I guess he wants to fight it out. Everyone sighed as they watched Qin Yun leave the city. Qin Yun left the city and ran towards the mountain in front of him. An hour later, the white-masked woman appeared. Do you mean what you said last time? When Qin Yun saw the white-masked woman, he quickly retreated and asked anxiously, I will never go back on my word. As the white-masked woman spoke, she had already struck out with her palm. Qin Yun quickly dodged and said with a cold snort, I don't trust you. You've acted shamelessly before, especially once when you were about to be killed by me, but you suddenly disappeared. Cut the crap. The white-masked woman was a little angry. Her punches became faster and colder. Qin Yun is now practicing martial arts. His main goal is to comprehend those profound martial arts in this kind of life and death battle. The white-masked woman is very powerful. She did not let Qin Yun drag it out for too long and killed him. Qin Yun was never tired of it. Every time he died, he would immediately go find the white-masked woman. The current him no longer cares about points. To him, the most important thing is to master those martial arts so that he can obtain even stronger power. Only in this way would he be able to kill the white-masked woman. As long as he could defeat the white-masked woman, points would not be a problem. More than a month later, Qin Yun's points had become negative 7,000 points. Everyone could not help but admire Qin Yun. To be able to lose so many points was also a kind of ability. After a month of torment, Qin Yun's martial arts and other aspects have become much more refined. He is still secretly grateful to the white-masked woman. One must know that she is a half-immortal realm expert. Yet, she is so free and always fights with him. In the safe city, Qin Yun is in a tent. He is rather satisfied with his progress. Previously, when he fought with the white-masked woman, he was killed in less than 20 moves. But now, he can withstand more than 100 moves. I'm gradually getting familiar with the third palm of the Extinction Dragon palm. Qin Yun nodded with satisfaction. Furthermore, he has learned the second step of the 9 extinction steps, Passing Shadow Extinction Breath. The only thing that is lacking is the piercing heavenly finger. He can only roughly grasp it and cannot use it in an instant. I wonder if I could defeat that guy. After resting, Qin Yun walked out of the tent and walked towards the city gate. When Qin Yun was practicing his martial arts, he was also in the fantasy field, because in the fantasy field, he was restricted in all aspects. Under such harsh conditions, he was able to display his martial arts very well. Then, if he were to remove the restrictions, the power of those martial arts would be even stronger. This is also the attraction of the fantasy field. Qin Yun thought about it and felt that he had relied too much on talismans and weapons. Jian Nanhu is the same. Even if Qin Yun does not use weapons, he is still very strong. However, that is because he has a Xian body. Now, in the fantasy field, he does not have the power of a Xian body, so he can only force himself to strengthen his martial arts. Qin Yun walked out of the safe city and entered the mountain range. The white masked woman soon arrived. Over the past month, Qin Yun and the white masked woman have fought here many times. This time, I must defeat you. Qin Yun is very confident in himself. You won't be able to defeat me without 10 years of time. The white masked woman floated in the air, her black robe fluttering in the wind. Her entire body overflowed with a cold aura. She is also not like before, killing as soon as they met. You underestimate me too much, Qin Yun said somewhat unhappily. It's not that I'm underestimating you. This is the truth. In the fantasy field, you don't need to rely on your Xian body and talisman weapons to reveal your true strength. The white masked woman said, in the past month, I have also made quite a bit of progress. Qin Yun said loudly, you can't deny this. What is that little bit of progress? You were still killed by me, and you were unable to harm me at all. This is the difference in strength. The white masked woman said disdainfully, I need 10 years to defeat you? Then how am I going to participate in a martial arts tournament? Qin Yun clenched his fists. The white masked woman sensed Qin Yun's aura suddenly increase and became vigilant. She said with a sneer, with that little bit of strength, don't go and embarrass yourself. Then what about Jian Rian and the others? Why can they go? Is Jian Rian stronger than me? Qin Yun is very unconvinced. With your current strength, you really can't defeat Jian Rian. The white masked woman sneered. I will defeat you today, Qin Yun said with an angry expression. The white masked woman laughed out loud. Dream on. As long as I defeat you, I can enter that forbidden area, right? Qin Yun asked. That's right, but without 10 years, you won't be able to defeat me. The white masked woman's voice is filled with ridicule. You should just honestly increase your strength. Qin Yun shouted angrily. Don't worry, I will definitely defeat you today. I want to go to that forbidden area. If you can defeat me today, I'll let you use the Immortal Weapon City's immortal artifact, the Sun Moon Immortal Bed. The white masked woman smiled contemptuously. But it's impossible for you to defeat me in a few days. That's what you said. Qin Yun immediately became excited. Come. The white masked woman stood there and shouted. Qin Yun used flowing light extinction shadow and flashed over. Too slow. As the white masked woman spoke, she quickly sent out a palm strike. She thought that she could hit Qin Yun, but she did not expect Qin Yun to suddenly dodge it. Qin Yun's speed is faster than before. The last time the white masked woman fought with Qin Yun was 3 days ago. She often fought with Qin Yun, so she is very familiar with all aspects of Qin Yun. However, Qin Yun's current speed has suddenly increased by a lot. This caused her to be unable to adapt to it for a moment. So, she made a mistake in her judgment. After Qin Yun dodged the white masked woman's attack, he immediately struck out with a violent vibration thunder fist. The fist force transformed into a roaring lightning bolt that struck the white masked woman's mask. The white masked woman quickly dodged to the side and at the same time released an ice-cold power. A radius of 10,000 meters suddenly turned into a world of ice and snow. A blizzard blew up. After the appearance of the blizzard, Qin Yun quickly left the area because it is very disadvantageous for him. But what made him depressed is that wherever the white masked woman went, the surroundings immediately turned into a blizzard environment. This guy is at the half-immortal realm. She suppressed her cultivation to the spirit martial realm. This consumption is nothing to her. Ling Yun'er said, "It's impossible to fight a war of attrition with her." Qin Yun is also very clear about this point. She has been suppressing me. I can't find an opportunity to use Extinction Dragon Palm on her. Qin Yun cursed and quickly dodged the white masked woman's attack. The white masked woman's fast fists and palms, accompanied by the blizzard, fiercely pressed over. Qin Yun, accept your fate. In a short period of time, you won't be able to defeat me. The white masked woman seemed to be very happy, and her attacks became even more fierce. Qin Yun was hit by dozens of palm strikes. His body was stung by the bone-piercing cold, and the power in his body was not flowing smoothly. This won't do. If this goes on, my body will be frozen. This is the opportunity to use the Sun-Moon Immortal Bed. I must not miss it. Qin Yun dodged the white masked woman's fatal blow from far away. However, the white masked woman chased after him again. Her black gloved palm, like a claw of death, extended towards Qin Yun. With your current strength, don't even think about using the Sun-Moon Immortal Bed. Go back and dream on. The white masked woman sneered. Qin Yun looked at the incoming palm, and his heart is filled with unwillingness. I must win. He roared in his heart, stretched out his hand, and poked at the white masked woman with 2 fingers. Chapter 628. Regret. Qin Yun's finger poked out, and there was no fluctuation of power. That is because all the power is condensed at the tip of the finger. When the target is not hit, the power will not burst out. This is also the power of the piercing heavenly finger. The white masked woman did not expect that Qin Yun's attack speed would suddenly be so fast, and it was too late for her to stop. Boom! Qin Yun's 2 fingers poked the white masked woman's palm and made a loud sound that shook the heavens and thunder. A black beam of light penetrated the white masked woman's shoulder and shot out. The white masked woman's arm was also torn by Qin Yun's piercing heavenly finger power and instantly shattered. Ew. The white masked woman was extremely surprised. She also knew that it was the piercing heavenly finger, but she did not expect Qin Yun to master it so quickly. One must know that this kind of tier martial arts cannot be mastered without a year and a half. And Qin Yun just got the piercing heavenly finger not long ago, and he actually mastered a move. The white masked woman underestimated Qin Yun's perception of martial arts. Yun'er, Qin Yun quickly shouted in his heart. Ling Yun has been waiting for an attack. She quickly used the super gravity that she had been accumulating for a long time and pressed it on the white masked woman's body. Bang! The white masked woman, who was floating in the air, was suddenly pressed down by the supergravity and fell to the ground. MO reduced the range of the supergravity to 1 meter, so when it was pressed down, the power produced was very strong. After the white masked woman was pressed to the ground, she also reacted and quickly used her strongest power to shake off the gravity. Qin Yun quickly used the second step of the 9 extinction steps, passing shadow, extinction breath. Because the white masked woman used her strongest power to break free from the gravity, she was unable to use her strongest power for a while. At this time, she could not see Qin Yun, nor could she sense Qin Yun's aura. This is the power of the passing shadow extinction breath. It can make people disappear without revealing their aura while moving at high speed. The white masked woman was shocked. She did not expect that Qin Yun would suddenly master so many powerful martial arts, because Qin Yun had never used it before. Just as the white masked woman was looking for Qin Yun, she suddenly felt danger. Boom! Qin Yun used the Extinction Dragon 3 palms. 3 palms in succession. The second palm swallowed the power of the first palm and instantly increased by several times. As for the third palm strike, it quickly devoured the second palm strike, becoming several times stronger. This increase in power happened in a very short period of time. Therefore, when the palm force first appeared, it didn't feel very strong, but it immediately became very powerful and violent. At this moment, Ling Yun once again exerted a supergravity. The white masked woman, who wanted to dodge, was also suppressed to the point that her body became sluggish. Rumble. The power of Extinction Dragon 3 palms exploded and smashed onto the white-masked woman's body. Berserk thunder and lightning blasted a huge crater on the ground. That roaring palm force blasted deep into the ground, creating a very large and deep hole. As for the white-masked woman, she had disappeared. Qin Yun closed his eyes and saw that his negative 7,000 points had become negative 2,000. He knew that his points had increased by 5,000. The white-masked woman had been killed by him just now. "I've finally killed that guy." Qin Yun was worried that the white-masked woman would escape. He clenched his fists. He was excited and felt a sense of accomplishment. What made him most excited is that he could enter the forbidden area, have close contact with the immortal origin, and use the sun and moon immortal bed. I just don't know if that crazy woman will keep her promise. Qin Yun stood there and did not leave. He waited for the white-masked woman to return. He waited for half an hour, and the white-masked woman finally appeared. "You promised me before. Will you do it?" Qin Yun quickly asked after seeing the white-masked woman. "If I go back on my word, what can you do?" "I won't promise you." The white-masked woman said coldly. She is also very unhappy because she was killed by Qin Yun once. When Qin Yun heard this, he immediately became furious. "You liar." After Qin Yun roared, Ling Yun released supergravity. Qin Yun struck with his palm from afar, using the power of Earthquake Divine Ability. Combined with 9 Extinction Primordial Power, he executed Extinction Dragon 3 palms. Although he was dozens of meters away from the white-masked woman, this palm strike directly penetrated the white-masked woman's body and tore her to pieces. And Qin Yun's arms and shoulders were also shattered by the violent power. His points had finally reached 3,000. This guy is really untrustworthy. Qin Yun cursed in his heart and left the fantasy field with anger. Qin Yun woke up from the bed and sat on the edge of the bed. He sighed. "It seems that I have to think of another way to find other immortal origins." Because he felt cheated, Qin Yun is very sad. "Are you going to leave the Immortal Weapon City just like that?" Ling Yun said, "You are now ranked 11th. There is no suspense in entering the top 10. I've had enough of that guy." Qin Yun grunted. "I'm leaving now." He quickly got up and kicked open the door. Qin Yun walked out of the Immortal Weapon Palace with anger and headed for Mu Feng's Eastern Inscription Palace Hall. When Mu Feng learned that Qin Yun had arrived, he quickly came to receive him. "Qin Yun, did you come alone? This is very dangerous." Mu Feng thought that Chu Binyu was accompanying him. "Fatty Mu, I'm going to stay here with you for a while. I'm not going back to the Immortal Weapon City," Qin Yun said angrily. "What's wrong? Those guys from the Immortal Weapon City chased you out again?" Mu Feng frowned and said, "Aren't they too much of scum? This is also good. You should go and join Demon Moon Island. The female demons inside are all so beautiful." Of course, Qin Yun wanted to go to Demon Moon Island. However, if he went, he was worried that he would implicate Demon Moon Island. "I'm not going anywhere for the time being. I'll fish for some purple coins here," Qin Yun said. "Qin Yun, what happened to the Immortal Weapon City to make you so angry?" Mu Feng asked curiously. "That guy didn't fulfill his promise to me." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "Big liar." Mu Feng said, "If you're obsessed with the Immortal Sect, you can go to the Sword Immortal Pavilion. They will definitely welcome you. The Sword Immortal Pavilion also has an immortal origin, but it is definitely not that easy to come into contact with it. I'll think about it again. Give me a room. I want to rest for a few days." During this period of time, Qin Yun has been cultivating martial techniques all day and did not have time to relax. Now, he also planned to relax for a few days. Just like that, he stayed in Mu Feng's Divine Inscription Palace Hall for a few days, and Chu Binyu came. Chu Binyu treated Qin Yun pretty well, so Qin Yun also went to see him. "Qin Yun, what the hell is going on? Why didn't you say hello and left the Immortal Weapon Palace? If not for Fatty Mu telling me, I wouldn't have known you were here. We have been looking for you for a long time." Chu Binyu said, "Villa Master, that guy lied to me. I'm not going back to the Immortal Weapon City." When Qin Yun thought of this matter, he felt a bellyful of anger. "It was the sect master who asked me to find you. He said that some big shot wants to see you. Chu Bingyu said, he has something important to discuss with you. I won't see her. Tell her to scram. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, big liar. This is what the sectmaster said. You should go talk to the sectmaster first. Chu Bingyu said with a troubled expression, you have done meritorious service to the immortal weapon city. Their upper echelons also know that there must be some kind of contradiction. All right. Qin Yun thought for a moment and agreed. Qin Yun followed Chu Bingyu and left the Eastern Inscription Palace Hall. He returned to the Immortal Weapon Palace and arrived at Bao Changshuo's pavilion at the top of the mountain. Chu Bingyu sent Qin Yun to Bao Changshuo's study room and left. Bao Changshuo is wearing a set of white clothes and looks very spirited. When he saw Qin Yun arrive, he hurriedly smiled and said, Qin Yun, where have you been these days? That guy wants to see me? Qin Yun did not talk nonsense with Bao Changshuo and asked, and she said she wanted to talk to you, but I haven't seen you enter the fantasy field for the past few days. Bao Changshuo said, what's wrong with you guys? I have nothing to talk to her. I'm leaving the Immortal Weapon City. Say goodbye to her for me. Qin Yun said angrily, she is a big liar. After saying that, he flew away from the balcony of the study room. Bao Changshuo hurriedly went over and pulled him back. Qin Yun, what's the matter? Talk to her before you leave. He could feel Qin Yun's anger, but he did not know the reason. I have nothing to talk to her. Qin Yun said angrily. Of course there is. If she wants to see you, it means that she wants to compromise with you. Bao Changshuo hurriedly said. He also did not want Qin Yun to leave the Immortal Weapon City. He is a very good disciple, but he is a little willful. I don't believe it. She will definitely mock me before I leave the Immortal Weapon City. Qin Yun said unhappily, Sectmaster, goodbye. I'm going to the Sword Immortal Pavilion. Don't go. Bao Changshuo hurriedly released a gentle power and imprisoned Qin Yun. Then he brought him into a secret room and locked him inside. Qin Yun, wait patiently. I'll go find that big shot now. Bao Changshuo said with a smile and quickly left. Qin Yun randomly attacked in the secret room and let out a series of angry curses. That secret room is Bao Changshuo's cultivation room. It is extremely sturdy. No matter how Qin Yun attacked, he cannot break it. Even if he used the mysterious penetration divine ability, he could not leave. Motherf asterisk Kerr. Qin Yun was tired and sat on the ground. If he wanted to go out, he could let Mo come out and destroy the runes here. However, he suddenly wanted to meet that white-masked woman and scold her. That way, he would be able to vent his anger. More than 2 hours later, the door to the secret room opened and the white-masked woman walked in. She did not have any aura at all. Bao Changshuo hurriedly closed the door and let the white-masked woman and Qin Yun be alone. You swindler. When Qin Yun saw the white-masked woman, he immediately cursed loudly. So what? The white-masked woman smiled proudly and said, I was just deliberately tricking you and teasing you. What did you do to me? Qin Yun took a deep breath and suppressed the anger in his heart. He calmed himself down and said slowly, I was tricked by you. I admit it. I deserve it. Who told me to accidentally look at your body? Just looking at your lousy body makes my eyes hurt. Chapter 629. The identity of the white-masked woman. The furious white-masked woman waved her palm and was about to hit him, but she immediately put it down. We have nothing to talk about. I want to leave the Immortal Weapon City. I want to go to Demon Moon Island. Demon Moon Island is better. There are all kinds of demons with fiery figures, and they are gentle and charming to me. Qin Yun said with a proud smile. You're not allowed to go. The white-masked woman shouted angrily. You said I'm not allowed to go, but I still want to go. As Qin Yun spoke, he walked towards the door. The white-masked woman quickly grabbed his clothes and said coldly, I'll let you enter the immortal origin. Is that okay? I don't believe you. Qin Yun said, You lied to me before. The white-masked woman did not say a word. She grabbed Qin Yun and opened the stone door of the secret chamber. She dragged Qin Yun out and flew away from the pavilion at the top of the mountain. Although Bao Changshuo saw it from outside, he couldn't do anything. He is extremely afraid of the white-masked woman. The white-masked woman brought Qin Yun and flew into the depths of the immortal weapon palace. They arrived outside a huge white stone house. "If you don't believe me, I'll take you there now." As the white masked woman spoke, she opened the door of the huge stone house and brought Qin Yun in. There is no one else around this place. In other words, only the white masked woman can enter this place. When Qin Yun arrived at the huge stone house, he saw that it is very familiar. There's a white pool of water, the same as the one he saw in the forbidden area of the fantasy field. This is the immortal weapon fantasy field. Qin Yun saw the immortal origin. It is a pool of water that constantly emits immortal energy. No, this is reality. The immortal pool in the fantasy field is mainly used to cultivate mental aspect. The white masked woman snorted. "Do you believe me now? Then why did you lie to me before?" Qin Yun cursed in a low voice. "You crazy woman! But in the end, I still fulfill my promise." The white masked woman said coldly. "Where's the sun-moon immortal bed?" Qin Yun asked. "You promised to let me use it." The white masked woman grabbed Qin Yun and charged towards the pool of water. Then she jumped in and dived down. After diving down, Qin Yun saw a huge white ball of energy. That's the immortal origin. The quality is very good, and it's also very big. Ling Yun exclaimed, "This level of immortal origin, even in the immortal desolate, it is a first-class level." The white masked woman brought Qin Yun into the white ball of gas. Inside was a white space that was extremely spacious and quiet. It was filled with dense, immortal energy. In the middle, there was a large bed that emitted a faint gold and silver radiance. Qin Yun walked over to take a look and saw profound moon and sun totems. There were countless moon runes and sun runes. Qin Yun finally saw the sun-moon immortal bed. However, he couldn't figure out what this white masked woman was thinking. She had lied to him before, and now she really brought him here. He could only think that the white masked woman was a crazy woman. Otherwise, she would not have done such a contradictory thing. "I can let you cultivate here, but there are restrictions. When I cultivate here, you can't come in," the white masked woman said. "If you were to go into seclusion for hundreds of years, what would I cultivate for?" Qin Yun rolled his eyes at her. "Even if I let you cultivate here, you won't be able to improve much because with your current cultivation, it's difficult for you to convert immortal energy into energy. And to use the sun-moon immortal bed, you need to continuously release immortal energy from your body. You can't absorb the power of the immortal pool, and you can't use the sun-moon immortal bed," the white masked woman said. "I can use it." Although Qin Yun didn't know how to use it, as long as he could contact Siekaru, he would have a way to use the immortal origin to cultivate an immortal body. "You leave here first. Go to the immortal pool and absorb the power of the immortal origin. I want to use this sun-moon immortal bed now," the white masked woman said. Qin Yun passed through the light screen and swam up to the side of the pool. After he determined that the white masked woman did not come up, he took out the immortal graveyard diagram and dripped blood on it. "Xiao Yun, what's the situation?" Siekaru's gentle voice sounded. "Elder sister imperial tutor, I have the opportunity to come into contact with the immortal origin," Qin Yun said happily. "Really? All right, follow my method and memorize a few chants. Cooperate with the Nine Sun Divine Spirit and absorb immortal energy. You'll be able to condense a special kind of immortal energy that can help you cultivate an immortal body," Siekaru said, "but it's only to help you cultivate an immortal body. Don't do anything else, otherwise it will be very harmful to you." Soon after, Siekaru recited a few chants for Qin Yun. After Qin Yun memorized it, he listened to Siekaru's explanation and roughly understood. "In about 10 years or so, you will be able to cultivate an immortal body," Siekaru said with a smile. "I thought it would take you a few hundred years to come into contact with the immortal origin. Elder sister, imperial tutor, when will little Malian come find me? I miss her so much," Qin Yun said. "She's also busy cultivating right now. When she has time, she will definitely come to find you." Siekaru giggled. Qin Yun and Siekaru have been talking for a long time. It is about time. After saying goodbye, he quickly put away the immortal graveyard diagram. "Let's give it a try." Qin Yin sat beside the immortal pool and closed his eyes. According to Xie Karu's chant, he used the nine-sun divine spirit to absorb the dense immortal energy into his body. Ling Yun said, "Elder sister imperial tutor should have mastered some special secret technique that is used in conjunction with the nine-sun divine spirit. She might have been worried that you would go berserk, so she didn't tell you earlier." Qin Yun is now using the nine-sun divine spirit and the mystical chant. It can transform immortal energy into a strange warm current. After this warm current entered his body, it flowed very flexibly throughout his body. At this time, his body also overflowed with a pale golden gas. Unknowingly, he cultivated for a few days. When he woke up, he saw the white masked woman standing in front of him. "How did you do it? You can actually cultivate 9 revolutions immortal power." The white masked woman's voice was filled with excitement and shock. "This is my secret." No comment. Qin Yun absolutely could not say that he had the nine-sun divine spirit, and the white masked woman would definitely not be able to tell. The white masked woman's voice turned solemn as she said, "Qin Yun, you must not reveal the fact that you can condense 9 revolutions immortal power. You must want to refine an immortal body, right?" Qin Yun nodded and asked, "Can you tell me about the 9 revolutions immortal power? You actually don't know?" The white masked woman was alarmed again. Qin Yun was at a loss. Xie had never mentioned it to him. "Then don't know about it for the time being." The white masked woman thought for a moment and did not tell Qin Yun. Qin Yun was somewhat unhappy and said, "Can you take off your mask?" "No." The white masked woman bluntly refused. She was wearing a mask, and her voice was very hoarse. He could not hear her original voice clearly, which made Qin Yun feel very uncomfortable. Furthermore, the mask was very strange. It was white without a single hole. He could not see the eyeballs, and it looked very uncomfortable. "Is the 9 revolutions immortal power useful to you?" Qin Yun suddenly asked. "It's very useful to me, but I'm unable to cultivate it, and you definitely won't teach me." The white masked woman said, "Take off your mask, and I'll have a way for you to obtain the 9 revolutions immortal power." Qin Yun suddenly thought of a way. "You can't be lying to me, right?" The white masked woman sneered. "If I lied to you, you cannot let me enter this place." Qin Yun said with a smile, "I'm not as shameless as you. You're the shameless one." The white masked woman snorted. "How can you let me obtain the 9 revolutions immortal power?" Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, "I'm not teaching you a cultivation technique. In fact, even if I pass it to you, you won't be able to cultivate it. You still need some special things, and that special thing is something that I was born with." The white masked woman did not ask what it was because she knew that the world was vast and there were many mysterious things. For Qin Yun to be able to grow up by himself, he must have had a fortuitous encounter. "All right, if you can't let me obtain the 9 revolutions immortal power, then don't ever think of entering this place," the white masked woman said sternly. "The method I'm talking about is for you to cooperate. If you don't cooperate, then that's your problem." Qin Yun said, "Don't worry, I'll definitely cooperate with you," the white masked woman said. Qin Yun also wanted to see what was so mysterious about this white masked woman. He urged, "Hurry up and take off your mask." The white masked woman did not immediately take off her mask. Instead, she seemed to be thinking about something. "Qin Yun, according to my understanding of you, you're definitely not the kind of person who would suffer a loss. Furthermore, you definitely hate me in your heart. Would you let me obtain the 9 revolutions immortal power to cultivate?" The white masked woman said, "That's because I'll be here for a long time in the future. If I reconcile with you, it'll be easier for us to get along." Qin Yun smiled. "Although you're a crazy woman, when you're not crazy, you're still pretty good." The white masked woman thought for a moment and said, "Don't play any tricks. If it really works, I can let bygones be bygones and reconcile with you. You were able to defeat Ying Changyu's disciple and protect the sun and moon immortal bed. I'm also grateful to you. Otherwise, just based on what you did to me, I definitely wouldn't let you have it easy." "Really?" Qin Yun's heart trembled as he said with a hollow laugh, I'm not a kind-hearted woman. I'm vicious and merciless. The white-masked woman sneered. Quickly take off your mask, Qin Yun said with a smile. If we want to trust each other, first, we have to take off the mask. The white-masked woman let out a long sigh and slowly extended her hand. She took off her mask. Qin Yun looked at her in anticipation. The white-masked woman took off her mask and also took off her black robe. She wore a snow-white dress. When Qin Yun saw that face, he was immediately stunned. He said in astonishment, Xian, Sister Bing Xing, it's you. The face under the mask is a little round. Her skin is white and moist. Her appearance is elegant and beautiful. The snow-white dress is shrouded in a faint white immortal energy. Her grace is outstanding, like a fairy walking on ripples. Her ice-cold phoenix eyes flickered with a trace of complicated expression as she looked at Qin Yun. This woman is the fairy that Qin Yun and Wu Mingxu released from the immortal tomb, Bing Xing. Chapter 630. Nether Sun Pill Refining. The person Qin Yun is most afraid of seeing is the Bing Xing in front of him. According to his conjecture, in his previous life, he was an immortal king who once angered Bing Xing. Therefore, Bing Xing hates him very much. He can also feel that Bing Xing has a very contradictory feeling towards him. It's actually this woman. Ling Yun'er is also extremely surprised. Xiao Yun, don't worry about your previous life. Continue teasing her. Don't make me court death. Qin Yun cursed in his heart. When Bing Xing saw Qin Yun's astonished expression, she is not surprised. She said, I really didn't expect you to come to the Spirit Desolate so quickly. Sister Bing Xing, I never expected you to be in the Spirit Desolate and have such a high position in the Immortal Weapon Palace. Qin Yun squeezed out a smile. I am the Grand Elder of the Immortal Weapon City. Bing Xing said, I have been sealed in the Immortal Tomb for many years, and my strength has yet to recover to its peak. During this period of time, I do not plan on returning to the Immortal Desolate because it is extremely dangerous. Then, how did you become the Grand Elder? Qin Yun asked curiously. I used to have some relationship with the Immortal Weapon City, so when I returned, I displayed my strength. The seniors of the Immortal Weapon City also acknowledged me. Bing Xing smiled coldly and placed her hand on Qin Yun's shoulder. She pinched it slightly and said coldly, It's time for you to fulfill your promise. Qin Yun coughed dryly and said, Sister Bing Xing, you are experienced and knowledgeable. You should know of a cultivation technique called Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, right? It allows men and women to cultivate together. I know, Bing Xing suddenly recalled. My wife, Xiao Yuan, also grasps this cultivation technique. She is in Demon Moon Island. I can let her teach you. Qin Yun said, As for whether or not you can cultivate together with me, that's up to you. I also know the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra. Bing Xing's eyes flashed with a strange expression. Then should we give it a try? Qin Yun does not know what is going on, but he suddenly felt a lot of pressure. Bing Xing shook her head slightly. No, I don't trust you, so I can't cultivate together with you. Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, Sister Bing Xing, the 9 revolutions' immortal power should be quite important to you, right? This will allow you to quickly recover your peak strength and then return to the Immortal Desolate. Yes, but I can't cultivate Sun Moon Heart Sutra with you, Bing Xing said coldly. Qin Yun let out a long sigh and said, All right, let's talk openly. Sister Bing Xing, I know that I had a past life where I was an immortal king and owed you, right? You know, you're that guy. Bing Xing's expression suddenly changed, suddenly filled with killing intent, then immediately calmed down. I should be able to confirm that my past life was that guy. But that was only my past life. It has nothing to do with me now. Qin Yun curled his lips and said, I think you're quite similar to him. Bing Xing sneered. Can you tell me how he tricked you? Qin Yun asked softly. He deceived my feelings and caused me to be sealed. Bing Xing said, If you awaken your memories, then you are him. I will kill you. Then, are there any other vile things? Qin Yin wanted to know more. You were a big swindler in your previous life. You cheated my feelings and even tricked me into helping you. You caused me to get into trouble and was sealed. You even cheated me of all the good things on my body. After Bing Xing finished speaking, she cursed Qin Yun in all sorts of ways. Qin Yun touched his face and felt that it was his handsome face that was causing mischief. Then, you didn't cheat me, right? Qin Yun asked softly. If your previous life cheated me, the moment I woke up in the immortal graveyard, I would definitely kill you, Bing Xing said coldly. Although she knows that the Qin Yun in front of her is not that bastard, her eyes are filled with hatred. Ling Yun giggled in Qin Yun's mind and said, Xiao Yun, this Bing Xing was once a pure woman. In your previous life, you used her innocence and tricked her into doing things. Later on, she found out and of course she was very angry. Bing Xing stared at Qin Yun. Her voice is filled with faint killing intent. Qin Yun, you better not have any ideas about me. Let the matter of your previous life be in the past. If you still dare to play tricks on me in this life, you're dead for sure. Sister Bing Xing, if I awaken the memories of my previous life, are you really going to kill me? Qin Yun asked somewhat worriedly because he does not know when his memories will awaken. That's right, you've awakened your memories. You're that bastard, I'm going to kill you. Bing Xing's beautiful eyes flickered with dense, killing intent. All right, I definitely won't awaken my memories. Qin Yun is rather regretful about his previous life's memories, because in his previous life, he was a powerful immortal king. He must have mastered many powerful cultivation techniques. Bing Xing said, if you awaken your memories, you definitely won't be able to hide it from me. At that time, don't even think about continuing to trick me. Sister Bing Xing, since we've talked things out, can we start cultivating together? Qin Yun quickly said, after we cultivate together, it will be very beneficial for both sides' cultivation. Bing Xing's tone softened a bit and said, I also want to cultivate together with you, but I can't do it. Using the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra requires both sides to trust each other, and I don't trust you at all. How would I know if I don't try? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, if something goes wrong while cultivating the Sun and Moon Heart Sutra, the consequences will be very serious, especially when the difference in cultivation between us is very big. If there is a backlash, you will die very miserably. At most, I will only suffer some injuries. Bing Xing's calm words caused Qin Yun to shiver. I promised you that I would let you absorb 9 revolutions, immortal power. Qin Yun sighed softly. I broke my promise. Your method works in theory, but in reality, there's a problem, so I'll forget about it this time. Bing Xing glanced at him and said, continue cultivating. Qin Yun realized that this crazy woman is sometimes rather reasonable. I've entered the immortal weapon fantasy field. Do you want to go in? Bing Xing said, I'll enter in a few days. I need to familiarize myself with this place first. Qin Yun sat down cross-legged beside the immortal pool. Bing Xing arrived beside the immortal pool. Just as she was about to jump in, Qin Yun immediately shouted, Sister Bing Xing, wait. What are you doing? Bing Xing asked. Qin Yun took out the Sun and Moon Divine Bowl and a jade box and said, Sister Bing Xing, help me place this bowl on the Sun and Moon Immortal bed. You should wake up once a day, right? Place this bowl on top of the jade box. If the liquid condensed from the bowl is full, it will automatically flow into the box. That box was specially refined by Qin Yun. There is a storage space inside that is specially used to store special liquid like the Sun and Moon essence. Bing Xing snorted, took the 2 items, and jumped into the immortal pool. She has a water-repelling magic tool on her, allowing her to not get wet. Ling Yun said, the Sun and Moon Immortal Bed should be able to speed up the Sun and Moon Divine Bowl to condense the Sun and Moon essence. The more Sun and Moon essence, the better. It will be useful for your alchemy in the future. This Sister Bing Xing seems to be pretty good to me. It's just that sometimes she can't control her emotions and is very fierce towards me. Qin Yun said with a chuckle. Maybe it's because I'm too handsome. Stop being so narcissistic. She wants to pinch you to death at any time. The reason why she didn't do anything is because she has a kind heart. Otherwise, who knows how many times you would have died. Ling Yin laughed tenderly. You were killed by her so many times in the immortal weapon fantasy field. I think it made her calm down a lot. Qin Yin followed the mantra taught by Siekiru. Through the Nine Sun Divine Spirit, he can use the immortal energy released by the immortal origin to condense 9 revolutions' immortal power. Yin I lied to Bing Xing in my previous life, and she saw through me. Qin Yin said, should I make it up to her? This way, I think you'll feel a little more at ease. You released her from the immortal graveyard. It's equivalent to making up for it. Ling Yin chuckled and said, you don't have to blame yourself too much. Those were all good things you did in your previous life. You don't need to bear the debt of your previous life in this life. But I feel a little apologetic. Qin Yun sighed. I really want to make it up to her, but she's an immortal. She doesn't lack anything. Xiao Yun, I think you should be able to extract the 9 revolutions' immortal power and condense it into a pill. Ling Yin suddenly thought of something and said, we can use the Nether Sun Dao core to do it. How? Qin Yun is immediately overjoyed and asked, can't the Nether Sun Dao core absorb energy? In addition, the Nether Sun Dao core can also use the characteristics of gravity to compress energy into the Nether Sun Dao core. The stronger the gravity, the stronger the crystal can be produced. Ling Yin said, in short, this is a very complicated situation. Ordinary people can't handle it. That's why the Nether Sun Dao core can give birth to a Dao spirit like me. Let me assist in controlling the Nether Sun Dao core. Ling Yin is a very magical existence. Her main ability is to help Qin Yun control the Nether Sun Dao core. All right, let's give it a try now, Qin Yun said. Ling Yun said, it's best to jump into the immortal pool. That way, you can condense it faster. Moreover, you can also temper your body while condensing that kind of pill. Qin Yun thought for a moment and also took off his clothes. He only wore a pair of shorts and jumped into the immortal pool to soak. I'm going to start letting the Nether Sun Dao core devour immortal energy. Ling Yun laughed. Under Ling Yun's control, Qin Yun also felt his Nether Sun Dao core accelerate. A large amount of immortal energy flowed into his body through the 9 Sun Divine Spirit and turned into 9 revolutions' immortal power. Qin Yun only used the 9 revolutions' immortal power to temper his body. He didn't dare to use it for other things because he was worried that something would go wrong. Siekiru also strictly warned him not to cultivate recklessly. He could only temper his body. Now that Ling Yun is using it to condense a pill, Qin Yun is somewhat nervous. In the blink of an eye, 6 days passed. Qin Yun also felt that the black Nether Sun Dao core is slowly squeezing out a light golden pill. Chapter 631. The evil dragon of Zhilong City. Qin Yun used the mysterious penetration divine ability to take out the light golden pill from the Nether Sun Dao core. He looked at the pill and said with a smile, Yuner, you're really something. You've been cultivating for a few days. The effect is pretty good. Ling Yun giggled and said, Big Sister Imperial Tutor's secret technique is pretty good. Qin Yun went ashore from the pool and put on his clothes. He said, does this pill contain a lot of 9 revolutions immortal power? Sister Bing Xing has a lot of demand. It should be quite a lot. When she comes up, let her take a look and you'll know. Ling Yun said, in any case, you'll be staying here for so many days. There's no need to be anxious. Qin Yun continued absorbing immortal energy and cultivating beside the pool, waiting for Bing Xing to come out. Half a day later, Bing Xing also came out from the bottom of the immortal pool. Because she has a water-repelling magic tool, her snow-white dress was not soaked by the pool water. Instead, a faint white glow lingered around her, making her look holy and beautiful. Sister Bing Xing, you're finally out, Qin Yun said with a smile. You're really free, always entering the fantasy field. I entered the immortal weapon fantasy field to increase my mental cultivation. The immortal pool inside is very helpful to my mental cultivation. Bing Xing said, Can I enter the immortal pool in the fantasy field? Qin Yun asked. I urgently need to raise my mental cultivation. At your current stage, it's not suitable for you to enter. Bing Xing took out a jade box and the Sun Moon Divine Bowl and said, Your things. Qin Yun took it and looked at it. He realized that the jade box is filled with sun and moon essence. There's a small bucket of it. Thank you very much. Qin Yun immediately said gratefully. This bowl condenses the sun and moon essence. It can accelerate the growth of medicinal herbs. The quality of the sun and moon essence condensed inside is very low. Bing Xing looked at the Sun Moon Divine Bowl and felt somewhat curious. This bowl is damaged, so it can't unleash its true power. Qin Yun sighed with some regret. This bowl is called the Sun Moon Divine Bowl. If it wasn't damaged, it would be of great help to me. What? This is the Sun Moon Divine Bowl? Bing Xing shouted in surprise. Let me see. Qin Yun handed the Sun Moon Divine Bowl to her. Bing Xing looked carefully and exclaimed softly, It should be the real Sun Moon Divine Bowl. I never expected it to be in your hands. However, the damage is very serious. Sister Bing Xing, do you know the origin of the Sun Moon Divine Bowl? Qin Yun immediately asked. Back then, it was quite famous in the immortal desolate land. It was the treasure of a Dan immortal. I never thought that it would fall into your hands. Bing Xing recalled the past and let out a long sigh. She returned the bowl to Qin Yun and warned him, This thing of yours is much more powerful than those Dao tools. You must take good care of it. If you have the chance to repair it in the future, this is a very powerful divine tool. It is said that it was severely damaged back then, but it still benefited that Dan immortal greatly. Qin Yun nodded, then took out a light golden pill and handed it to Bing Xing. What is this? Bing Xing took it and looked at it. She sensed a faint trace of 9 revolutions, immortal power. I refined the 9 revolutions, immortal power pill. Qin Yun said with a smile. Give it a try and see how it works. You used 9 revolutions, immortal power to condense it. Bing Xing found it unbelievable and asked, How did you condense it? Secret. Qin Yun chuckled. Don't worry and eat. Bing Xing thought for a moment and said, You go out first. I'm worried about you staying here. What if this pill is poisonous? Qin Yun said unhappily. Do I look like the kind of person who would poison someone? Don't tell me you don't. You are very sinister in the fantasy field. Bing Xing sneered. All right, I'll also go to the fantasy field to take a look. While you're not here, I can also get some points and charge into the top 10. Qin Yun curled his lips and walked towards the door. Bing Xing put on a black robe and a white mask and sent him to the outer sect area. Qin Yun returned to his room and entered the fantasy field. He found Long Xiaofeng and obtained 400 points by killing her core. He has a total of 3,400 points. Ranked 8th on the Martial Dao list, he finally rushed into the top 10. As long as he is in the top 10, he'll feel a lot more at ease. In order to be safe, he once again killed Long Xiaofeng's core twice, allowing his points to reach 4,000 and rank 2nd. Qin Yun left the fantasy field and did not plan to stay here any longer because he wanted to quickly cultivate his immortal body and go to the immortal origin. Xiao Yun, if Bing Xing tastes the sweetness, she will definitely come to find you. It should take some time for her to refine that pill. Be patient, Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun waited in the courtyard. He did not want to enter the fantasy field either, because there is no meaning in it. Unless he can fight with Bing Xing, he can improve his level. However, Bing Xing obviously did not want to waste any more time with him. Qin Yun held a saber and practiced the common saber art in the courtyard. As long as he has time, he will practice saber arts. He brandished his saber very quickly and attacked on reflex. He practiced for the entire afternoon. When it was dark, someone suddenly came. The person who came is not Bing Xing, but Long Xiaofeng. Qin Yun and the Long family have a deep blood feud, so when Long Xiaofeng wants to see Qin Yun, she does it secretly. Let's talk inside. Qin Yun looked around and did not find anyone else. He brought Long Xiaofeng into the room. After Long Xiaofeng entered Qin Yun's room, she took off her clothes and said, Many of our Long family's disciples have left the immortal weapon city. My corps might be disbanded soon. Is the Long family withdrawing from the immortal weapon city? Qin Yun asked. Our Long family's outstanding disciples basically can't stay here anymore. If they continue to stay in the immortal weapon city, they won't be able to participate in the martial arts competition. Therefore, they let many disciples leave the immortal weapon city. In addition, they are worried that if there is a conflict with the immortal weapon city in the future, the Long family's disciples will be affected. The reason why Long Xiaofeng is still here is because she is still in the top 10 of the martial Dao list. This is a rare spot, and the Long family allowed her to temporarily stay here. Her position in the Long family is not too high. It is much worse than Long Quanghong and Long Ziming. This is mainly because she is a woman. Today, among the Long family's disciples in the immortal weapon city, only she is still in the top 10 of the martial Dao list. This is a great irony for the male disciples of the Long family. Not only the Long family, the Tian family and the Yang family are also about to leave the immortal weapon city. They feel that if they continue to stay, sooner or later, they will be dealt with. The family powers in the immortal weapon city have been completely defeated. Long Xiaofeng said, This should be my credit, right? I have to ask the Villa Master and the others for some benefits. Qin Yun said with a smile. I'm afraid I won't be able to stay here for long either. Long Xiaofeng sighed softly. After the martial arts tournament, I will also be called away by the family. Xiaofeng, you shouldn't have anything to worry about in the Long family, right? Wouldn't it be fine if you just leave the Long family? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, At that time, you can also continue to stay in the immortal weapon city. I'm worried that because I'm a disciple of the Long family, the immortal weapon city will suppress me. Long Xiaofeng actually wanted to stay in the immortal weapon city because there are many benefits here, and she's also a disciple with good aptitude. We can talk about this later. I'll help you take care of it. Qin Yun thought for a moment and said, Long Xiaofeng also believed in Qin Yun's ability and said, Qin Yun, I came to find you for something else. What is it? Qin Yun asked. Do you still remember the guy who stole your 4 Dao tools? Long Xiaofeng said. Of course I remember. Qin Yun clenched his fists, frowned, and cursed in a low voice. That bastard! I must get even with him. Have you investigated him thoroughly? This guy's name is Long Zhigui, and he established a small family clan. This seems to have obtained the permission of our proud Star State's great clan. Long Xiaofeng said the small family he established is hidden in Jilong City, and this Jilong City is also a city built by that guy. How is the overall strength of this Jilong City? Qin Yun asked. It's a small city, but it's very lively because it mainly deals in all kinds of slave businesses. The Long family in Jilong City mainly buys all kinds of slaves at low prices and then sells them at high prices. Long Xiaofeng said, This kind of shady business should be shameful, right? Qin Yun snorted angrily. That's right, but Long Zhigui is an elder of the Medicine Immortal Valley, so no one dares to say anything. Also, I heard that there's an evil dragon in Jilong City. This evil dragon belongs to the Medicine Immortal Valley and likes to eat human flesh. Jilong City takes back many inferior slaves, and they're also used to feed that evil dragon. When Long Xiaofeng spoke of these matters, she became somewhat angry. This is truly lawless. Is there no one to care about it? Qin Yun cursed angrily in a low voice. There's nothing we can do about it. Behind Jilong City is the Long family and the Medicine Immortal Valley. Furthermore, the evil dragon inside is also very strong. Long Xiaofeng sighed. Tell me the location of Jilong City. Qin Yun's voice became somewhat cold. He decided to go to that city and cause a ruckus. Long Zhigui took away his 4 Dao tools. It is time for him to suffer a great loss. Long Xiaofeng took out a map and said, This is Jilong City. It is relatively close to the Medicine Immortal Valley. All right, I will go, Qin Yun said. Qin Yun, there aren't many experts in Jilong City. I heard that the strongest is only a Xian martial realm martial monarch. Also, there's a very strong evil dragon inside. Long Xiaofeng said again. Qin Yun nodded. I will pay attention. All right. Qin Yun, you know how to carve an inscription. Can you also carve runes and totems on your martial spirit? Long Xiaofeng suddenly asked. I heard that powerful inscription masters can become soul refiner masters without a teacher. Long Xiaofeng has dragon and phoenix twin martial spirits, but she feels that her strength is not enough. If she wanted to obtain even stronger power, she could only carve runes or totems on her martial spirit to make it stronger. Chapter 632. Totem carving spirit. Qin Yun had a dragon totem. He obtained it from his father, Qin Long. He could also carve a dragon totem on his martial spirit, but it was not easy to comprehend a dragon totem martial art. Only when the dragon totem naturally fused with the martial spirit would it be easier to comprehend a totem martial art. Xiaofeng, do you have dragon bloodline? Qin Yun asked. Yes. Long Xiaofeng nodded. I am a descendant of the Long family, and I have a dragon martial spirit. My dragon bloodline inheritance is innate. Xiaofeng, you said that when he was competing with Long Quanghong, he seemed to have used a very strong martial art. It seems to have a lot to do with dragons. Is it a totem martial art? Qin Yun asked again. No, that's the heavenly dragon secret art. Our Long family's very powerful Tian-tier cultivation technique. When Long Xiaofeng spoke of this matter, her face was filled with helplessness and anger. I'm clearly very outstanding, but they won't pass it down to me. Because the clan has a rule that this kind of powerful martial art can only be passed down to males and not females. Xiaofeng, in your Long family, are there many disciples with dragon totem, pure dragon martial spirit, and dragon bloodline? Qin Yun looked at Long Xiaofeng and asked seriously. Long Xiaofeng thought carefully and shook her head. Very few. In my memory, there doesn't seem to be any, because many of the Long family's disciples have hybrid dragon martial spirits, such as Long Quanghong, especially the disciples who were born with dragon totem. Although there have been, they didn't live for long before dying. Long Xiaofeng said with a frown. In the history of our Long family, all the disciples with dragon totem have short lives. Why? Qin Yun also found it strange. Because they were too arrogant and caused trouble everywhere, they were killed by people. It's also possible that they were captured by the magical, desolate totem pavilion. Long Xiaofeng said with a smile. Xiaofeng, I have a dragon totem, and I can carve it on your martial spirit. However, you must promise me that if you comprehend a dragon totem martial art, you must think of a way to teach it to me. Qin Yun said seriously. Long Xiaofeng was stunned and found it hard to believe. If possible, let's begin now. Qin Yun took out the mental resonance Xian pen. I need your dragon totem martial art. Long Xiaofeng saw Qin Yun's serious expression and felt extremely shocked in her heart. But she quickly calmed down and nodded. All right, I promise you. Long Xiaofeng sighed. I will definitely properly comprehend totem martial arts. Qin Yun held the mental resonance Xian pen and said, Lie on the bed and relax your entire body. Long Xiaofeng lied down on Qin Yun's bed and followed Qin Yun's instructions. She has complete trust in Qin Yun. Qin Yun lifted her clothes, revealing her beautiful abdomen that revealed a few faint abdominal muscles. He pressed Long Xiaofeng's white and tender abdomen and said, I'm going to start. Try to relax. Yes, I will cooperate with you. Long Xiaofeng nodded. Through the mental resonance Xian Pen's Beast King inscription spirit, Qin Yun very naturally condensed a strange power and began carving totems. He used the method in the soul refinement technique, which was very different from the carving of talismans and tools. There was a big difference. Carving runes and totems on a martial spirit has very high requirements. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to succeed. First, one must ensure that the finesse is high enough. Only in this way can the totem and martial spirit be more compatible. Furthermore, one must also have good control over one's own energy, so that the totem can be stably carved into the martial spirit. Qin Yun could do both. Previously, he carved the heavenly lion totem into his thunder fire martial spirit. It will take about 2 or 3 days, Qin Yun said with a frown. It's not too long. Long Xiaofeng asked curiously. Qin Yun, you seem to be very proficient. Could it be that you are also a soul refinement master? Barely. Qin Yun smiled. It seems like you have a very strong martial spirit. Long Xiaofeng said. She is secretly alarmed. Originally, she only wanted Qin Yun to give it a try and see if he could carve runes or totems on her martial spirit to make her stronger. Who would have thought that Qin Yun has already mastered this technique? 3 days passed by in the blink of an eye. Qin Yun's dragon totem carving on Long Xiaofeng's dragon martial spirit also came to an end. At this moment, the door to his room was opened. The person who came in is a person wearing a black robe and a white mask. It is Bing Xing. Although Bing Xing's mask has no holes, it is specially made and can clearly see what is outside. She saw Long Xiaofeng lying on Qin Yun's bed. She lifted her clothes and revealed her abdomen. As for Qin Yun, he is holding a short pen in one hand and pressing his other hand on Long Xiaofeng's abdomen. He is drawing something. Qin Yun never expected Bing Xing to be so reckless. She actually rushed in such a hurry. The main reason is that Bing Xing is too excited. Because the pill Qin Yun gave her has a very good effect, she anxiously came to find Qin Yun. Xiaofeng, relax. Qin Yun quickly shouted. Bing Xing thought that Qin Yun and Long Xiaofeng had enmity with each other. She never expected them to be so familiar. She also seemed to have thought of something. Long Xiaofeng has also seen the Black Cloth Corps before. She knows that the white-masked woman is the leader of the Black Cloth Corps. Close the door. Qin Yun shouted to Bing Xing closed the door and came to the bed. Long Xiaofeng also felt a lot more at ease and continued to relax. She also thought that Qin Yun and the white-masked woman have a huge conflict. She never expected that the white-masked woman would actually come to find Qin Yun. One must know that the white-masked woman had killed Qin Yun many times in the fantasy field. Qin Yun did not dare to run around anymore. This also made people feel that Qin Yun and the white-masked woman have an irreconcilable enmity. But now, it seems that is not the case. What are you doing? Carving spirit? Bing Xing said in surprise. She never expected Qin Yun to know such a skill. And Qin Yun said, then I won't disturb you anymore. I'll come again next time. Bing Xing left after saying that. Qin Yun also knows that Bing Xing has tasted the sweetness. That's why she came in such a hurry. After Bing Xing left, Long Xiaofeng said in surprise, Qin Yun, your relationship with this leader seems to be pretty good. Not bad. We've fought so many battles, and we've become familiar with each other. Qin Yun said with a smile. Long Xiaofeng closed her eyes and sensed the dragon totem carved by Qin Yun. It's almost done, Qin Yun said. He has not slept for 3 days and 3 nights in a row. He never expected that carving a totem on someone else's martial spirit would be so tiring. Previously, when he was carving the heavenly lion totem on his martial spirit, he was not at the spirit martial realm, but it was not that tiring. He is now at the initial stage of the spirit martial realm, and his mental power has also increased. However, when he was carving the dragon totem, it was as if he was half dead. Fortunately, he has the Beast King inscription spirit. Otherwise, who knows how long it would take for him to finish. Done. Qin Yun is finally done. He heaved a long sigh and sat on the ground. It's been hard on you. Just as Long Xiaofeng finished speaking, she felt her body suddenly being filled with a very strong energy, causing her delicate body to overflow with waves of aura. She quickly got up from the bed and carried Qin Yun to the bed, letting him lie down and rest. As for her, she sat on the bedside to adapt to the sudden increase in energy. Qin Yun is already asleep. Long Xiaofeng looked at him and can't help but feel reverence for Qin Yun. She also knows that Qin Yun is so powerful for a reason. Qin Yun slept for an entire day before waking up. He saw Long Xiaofeng sitting there, seemingly feeling the profoundness of the totem rune. After obtaining the dragon totem rune, my strength has increased by a lot. Even warriors at the level of Hua, Xie, and Tian Yaolei shouldn't be my match. Long Xiaofeng sensed that Qin Yun had woken up and immediately stood up and said, "You could go find Jian Ruyan and have a fight." Qin Yun said with a smile, "That tigress Jian Ruyan is the strongest in the fantasy field. You just need to be on guard. You might be able to defeat her." Long Xiaofeng's heart is slightly excited as she coldly smiled. "All right, I'll go find her now. Jian Ruyan often looks down on me and ridicules me." Xiaofeng, your weakness is that you can't endure hardships. Sometimes, if you want to make yourself stronger, you have to suffer a bit. When you compete with Jian Ruyan, don't be afraid of pain. Fight a few more rounds, and you will definitely be able to defeat her. Qin Yun stretched his back and said, "I'm preparing to go to Zhilong City. Do you want me to accompany you?" Long Xiaofeng asked. "No need, I like to act alone," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Hurry up and enter the fantasy field. Go kill Jian Ruyan and suppress her spirit." Long Xiaofeng can't wait to challenge Jian Ruyan and quickly left Qin Yun's room. Just as Long Xiaofeng left, Bing Xing came in. "Sister Bing Xing, you've been outside the entire time," Qin Yun said with a chuckle. "What kind of runes did you carve on her?" Bing Xing took off her mask. Her beautiful and cold face made her look like a heartless and desireless fairy. "Dragon Totem Rune," Qin Yun said. "She has the dragon martial spirit and dragon bloodline. She's just missing the dragon totem rune. If nothing unexpected happens, she might even be able to cultivate the dragon Xian body." Bing Xing coldly snorted and said, "I really didn't expect that in this life you would actually treat women like this. Not only did you not cheat her of anything, you even helped her. Furthermore, you didn't take over her body. I heard that there are quite a few beauties who have a good relationship with you." Qin Yun is secretly alarmed because Bing Xing's words seem to contain a bit of sourness, as if she is jealous. "Sister Bing Xing, I admit that my methods are a bit despicable at times, but if others are good to me, I will also be good to others. Long Xiaofeng also helped me a bit. We have a cooperative relationship," Qin Yun said. "Then what about Tian Ruling and Yu Wulan?" Bing Xing asked. "They are my big sister and second sister. Furthermore, they have gone through trials and tribulations with me. They are trustworthy people," Qin Yun said with a smile. "Sister Bing Xing, I won't hide it from you. There are many beauties who have a good relationship with me." Oof. Bing Xing's mood is somewhat complicated as she snorted. "How is the effect of that pill?" Qin Yun asked. "Very good. If I had one every month, it would be of great help to me." Bing Xing said, "I won't take your pill for free. Tell me your condition. It's within my capabilities." Chapter 633. Inborn Inscription Spirit Qin Yin originally planned to let Bing Xing leave the Immortal Weapon Palace to help him do something. "Sister Bing Xing, why can't you leave the Immortal Weapon Palace?" Bing Xing said, "I am an immortal. I spent a lot of effort to enter this Immortal Weapon Palace. Once I leave and lose the protection of the Immortal Weapon Palace, I will be gradually sucked into the Immortal Desolate. Legend has it that this Immortal Weapon Palace once gathered a group of immortal soldiers." "So it's true," Qin Yun sighed. "Yes, so don't even think about asking me to go out and kill people for you. Furthermore, I will not let the Immortal Weapon Palace's sect master help you kill people. You should settle your own grudges." Bing Xing said, "I want to sleep on that Sun Moon Immortal bed, but I can't release my immortal powers. I shouldn't be able to use it, right?" asked Qin Yun. "Your 9 Revolutions immortal power is rather special. Sun Moon Immortal bed needs normal immortal power to move." Bing Xing nodded. "If you want to use it, I can help you. I can help you use it for 1 day a month." "I've only used it for a day." Qin Yun felt that it was too little. "With your current cultivation, you can only endure for 1 day. Any more, and there will be a problem. The Sun Moon Immortal bed is very special." Bing Xing said, "You'll know when you try it." "All right, 1 day is 1 day." Qin Yun feels that this is also very good. If you sleep for a day, your spirit will last a year. You can comprehend cultivation techniques in the illusory space, practice runes or martial skills. It will give you a lot of time," Bing Xing said. Qin Yun was also very tempted when he heard this. He wanted to give it a try immediately. "Sister Bing Xing, I still have something to do, so I have to go out for a while. Let's talk about it when I come back. Qin Yin recalled the incident in Jilong City. He wanted to take revenge and let Long Zhigui know that the consequences of stealing his Dao artifact are extremely severe. All right, this is for you. It can allow you to enter the Immortal Weapon Palace Hall. Bing Xing gave Qin Yin a jade token and walked out of the room. Qin Yin took the jade token and looked at it before putting it away with a chuckle. Unfortunately, Bing Xing does not trust you. Otherwise, she would have used the Sun Moon Heart Sutra to cultivate together with you. It can make you advance by leaps and bounds. Ling Yun said regretfully, "She will trust me sooner or later." Qin Yun said with great confidence. I seem to feel that she was a little jealous just now. Ling Yun smiled and said, "This woman might like you a little. That's because I'm too charming. Even this fairy can't resist me." Qin Yun said with a proud smile. "Let's go." Ling Yun said. Qin Yun left the Immortal Weapon Palace and went to Mu Feng's Eastern Inscription Palace Hall. It had been some time since Wu Mingxiu went to the Medicine Immortal Valley, but there was no news of him. This made Qin Yun and Mu Feng somewhat worried. Qin Yun thought that Wu Mingxiu had returned and was in the Eastern Inscription Palace. Senior Wu will definitely be fine. He is not weak. Mu Feng patted Qin Yun's shoulder with a smile. "Fatty Mu, what news have you gathered?" Qin Yun asked. Long family, Tian family, and Yang family have formed an alliance to deal with you. The Medicine Immortal Valley and the Azure Flame Immortal Mountain are also preparing to declare war on your Immortal Weapon City. Mu Feng said, "That's all. What about Demon Moon Island? They are in charge of issuing wanted posters, so they should also be threatened." Qin Yun asked. Those big powers don't seem to have any intention of making a move against Demon Moon Island, especially those big families. They can't afford to offend Demon Moon Island. Mu Feng smiled and shook his head. You have to know that behind Demon Moon Island is the Demon Immortal Paradise. The majority of the people in the Demon Immortal Paradise are demons and beasts that have turned into humans. The Demon Immortal Paradise rarely participated in disputes, but if someone provoked them, the consequences would be very serious. The Demon Immortal Paradise is really powerful. Qin Yun exclaimed. Isn't that so? You have to know that many powerful beasts have been taken in by the Demon Immortal Paradise after transforming into humans. Mu Feng said with a smile. Qin Yun nodded and said, Fatty Mu, I plan to stay here for a while. I want to refine something, and I need you to provide me with a large amount of materials. What materials do you need? Mu Feng immediately frowned and said, Are you going to do something big? Xian Yuan steel and Xian level B skin. Qin Yun said, You and I have such a good relationship. I'll definitely give you a good price. Mu Feng chuckled and said, All right, when we trade, let's use an unregistered purple crystal card. This way, we won't have to pay taxes, and it'll be even cheaper. All right, Qin Yun chuckled. Mu Feng quickly took out more than 100,000 genes of Xian Yuan steel and placed it in a special storage bag. He handed it to Qin Yun and said, I originally wanted to sell it for 150 million. I'll take 100 million from you. All right, 100 million purple crystal coins is not too much for Qin Yun. Soon after, Qin Yun sold 50 million purple crystal coins worth of bee skin to Qin Yun. After Qin Yun obtained the materials, he quickly entered a secret room and began refining talismans. I want to refine 5 new throwing knives. He took out many Xian-level soul essences and heavenly beast bones. Using heavenly beast bones to refine tools has a very good effect. It can make Xian tools very sturdy, and the infusion of energy is also very smooth. Heavenly beast bones are originally the bones of heavenly beasts. In terms of absorbing and storing energy, it has a very significant effect. Qin Yun is alone in the secret room, forging all kinds of materials. He is very busy. He has the heavenly lion dragon suppression cauldron and a large amount of beast oil. When burning materials, he can save a lot of time. This won't do. If this goes on, I'll need a long time to refine all the things I want. Qin Yun is preparing to attack a small city. He needs to be fully prepared. Go find that little girl, Jingming. Qin Yun thought for a moment and entrusted Fatty Mu to find the bald old man and have him find Lu Jingming. The bald old man is Lu Jingming's grandfather. If he has something to look for Lu Jingming, Granny Ma would have to let her go. Moreover, the bald old man is very polite to Qin Yun. Therefore, when he learned that Qin Yun wanted Lu Jingming to help him refine talismans, he immediately agreed. He wished that Lu Jingming could stay with Qin Yun for a long time and learn Qin Yun's refining techniques. Qin Yun waited for half a day before Lu Jingming arrived. The secret room that Mu Feng arranged for Qin Yun is very large, so it won't be crowded even if one more person stays inside. The secret room is filled with all kinds of materials, furnaces, and forging tables. It's a bit messy. Lu Jingming is wearing a light blue dress. She is very refreshing and beautiful. When she saw Qin Yun, she smiled sweetly and shouted in a sweet voice, "Big brother Yun, Jingming, did Granny Ma tell you when to go back?" Qin Yun is also very happy to see Lu Jingming. After Mu Feng brought Lu Jingming here, he left. He also has a lot of things to deal with. Lu Jingming shook her head and said with a smile, "Granny Ma told me to spend more time with grandfather and help him refine talismans." Qin Yun smiled and touched her face. He said, "Jingming, can you help me refine some Xian talisman papers and Xian tool embryos?" "Sure." Grandfather said that I should learn more from Big Brother Yun. Lu Jingming quickly nodded. She is also very willing. Qin Yun quickly arranged some tasks for Lu Jingming. He asked her to forge heavenly beast bones and Xian Yuan steel into Xian talisman paper or forge Xian tool embryos. In the fantasy field, he felt that the best thing to use are those throwing knife talisman tools. Therefore, this is also the main point of his refining. When Qin Yun was in the immortal weapon fantasy field, the materials he used to refine things were all very poor. And now, he has used good materials. The power will definitely be stronger. In addition, he also refined 3 cannonballs for the Xian Royal Cannon to use. Those 3 cannonballs are all refined using Xian Martial Realm Martial Monarch's Dao core as the foundation. Qin Yun carved Xian runes and fire totem on the Dao core, making the Dao core even stronger. Moreover, he also injected a large amount of beast oil into it. If it was shot out, it would erupt into a large flame. Jingming, I will teach you the fire totem rune. You must keep it a secret. You can't tell Granny Ma and your grandfather for the time being. Do you understand? Qin Yun said in a low voice. When he saw Lu Jingming working so hard to help, he felt that he should give Lu Jingming some compensation, because in the future, he can still get Lu Jingming to continue helping him. Lu Jingming nodded. I will definitely keep his secret. I like carving totems, but the totems grandfather and Granny Ma gave me are not very good. They don't have good totems. Qin Yun gave Lu Jingming a piece of bee skin and said with a smile, Jingming, Big Brother has mastered many totems. I will definitely study hard. Lu Jingming is very happy. Her big eyes looked at the totem runes on the bee's skin without blinking. Ling Yun suddenly transmitted her voice to Qin Yun and said, Xiao Yun, this little girl Jingming might have an innate inscription spirit. Maybe it's because that inscription spirit is too weak. I didn't sense it. Innate inscription spirit? Is this very powerful? Qin Yun is also surprised. And very powerful. This kind of inscription spirit is very rare. What a lucky little girl. Ling Yun'er said, You can let Mo come out and take a look. Mo is very sensitive to inscription spirit. Mo is the high priest of the fairies. She can sense totems and also inscription spirit. After Qin Yun told Mo about the situation, she also agreed to come out. After Mo came out, she saw Lu Jingming and immediately liked her very much. She quickly flew over. Lu Jingming looked at the totem runes on the bee's skin and did not find the cute little Mo. Little Mo flapped her wings and flew to Lu Jingming's side. She shouted softly, Little sister, hello. Is this a little fairy? So beautiful, so cute. When Lu Jingming saw Mo, she also liked her very much. She quickly reached out her little hand to hold her. She looked at Qin Yun in surprise and asked, "Brother Yun, is this little fairy you?" "And her name is Mo." Qin Yun said with a smile. "Hello, Mo. I am Lu Jingming." Lu Jingming carefully stretched out her finger and caressed Mo's beautiful blue hair. "Little sister, you are also very beautiful, very cute." Mo giggled. "Can you be my good friend?" Lu Jingming looked at Mo with her big watery eyes. Chapter 634. Slave City from Mo's reaction. Qin Yun could tell that Lu Jingming really had an inscription spirit. Following that, Qin Yun let Mo and Lu Jingming play by the side. Lu Jingming released her pet beast, Xian Mushroom Spirit Beast, from the beast bag. Following that, Qin Yun also released the little jade rabbit and let them play by the side. Lu Jingming was originally a pure little girl. In addition, she had no playmates when she was young, so she cherished her friends very much. The first time Qin Yun saw her, she said that she wanted to play in the mud with other children. From that time, it could be seen that her heart was like that of a few years old child. Qin Yun is carving runes and totem runes. He is carving beast totems and fire attribute runes. He is making full use of his inscription spirit. Only in this way can he save more time. Lu Jingming has forged quite a few embryos. Now, she is sitting on the ground with Mo and the little jade rabbit playing and chatting. She is also very happy and relaxed. Mo suddenly flew over and whispered to Qin Yun, "Brother, Jingming's inscription spirit is very powerful. If I'm not wrong, it should be a totem inscription spirit." "What? Totem inscription spirit?" When Qin Yun heard this name, he roughly knew the use of this inscription spirit. Ling Yun is also pleasantly surprised. "Xiao Yun, this totem inscription spirit is very amazing." No wonder Jingming said that she likes totems very much. It is because of this inscription spirit. This will allow her to carve all the totems with twice the result, with half the effort. Mo said again. Jingming's totem inscription spirit is still in a very weak state. "How can it grow?" Qin Yun asked hurriedly. "Brother, you are a soul refiner. You can use the soul refining technique to help her totem inscription spirit grow." Mo said. Qin Yun took a deep breath and nodded. Then, he walked over and told Lu Jingming about the matter. After Lu Jingming heard this, she was very surprised. "Brother Yun, is what you said true? I have such a powerful inscription spirit." Mo nodded and said with a smile, "Jingming, your inscription spirit is very powerful, but it is too weak. It is very difficult for you to make it stronger by yourself, but Big Brother can help you." Lu Jingming also believed in Mo and Qin Yun's words. She frowned slightly and asked, "Brother Yun, is the process very difficult? If it's really difficult, then don't do it. I don't want you to work too hard." "It's not difficult." Qin Yun had many martial spirits. Over the years, he had extracted many people's martial spirits. Those common martial spirits were all picked out by him. Lu Jingming heard that it was not difficult and cooperated with Qin Yun. Through Mo, Qin Yun sensed the inscription spirit in Lu Jingming's body. It is at the heart. Lu Jingming's martial spirit is a blue divine ability martial spirit. Qin Yun sensed it and discovered that the blue martial spirit is very strange and powerful. Jingming's martial spirit is still in the unevolved stage. It looks like it is only a fire martial spirit. Ling Yun said. Qin Yun began strengthening Lu Jingming's totem inscription spirit. It took him an entire day to complete it, and it went very smoothly. At this moment, Lu Jingming also felt her totem inscription spirit. She is very happy and very grateful to Qin Yun and Mo Jingming. You have to keep the matter of you having a totem inscription spirit a secret. Qin Yun looked at Lu Jingming tenderly and caressed her beautiful long hair. "And I'll remember." Lu Jingming is very happy and said to Mo, "I'm going to help Brother Yun refine something. Let's play again when we have time." "All right." Mo and Little Jade Rabbit also returned to Qin Yun's 9-son divine spirit. Qin Yun also planned to ask Bing Xing to guide Lu Jingming the next time he met her. After all, Lu Jingming's situation is too special. Lu Jingming is not only helping Qin Yun forge materials, she is also carving totem runes. This is also to make herself more proficient. After the totem inscription spirit awakened and grew, Lu Jingming carved totem runes very easily and naturally. The precision is also very high. Qin Yun's Beast King inscription spirit and Wildfire inscription spirit need to carve fire attribute beast totems. Only then would it be perfect and obtain the highest degree of precision. And Lu Jingming has the totem inscription spirit. When carving totem runes, the precision is very high. Of course, Qin Yun's Wildfire inscription spirit and Beast King inscription spirit have a very high coverage area. They can cover a large number of runes, including totem runes. Although Lu Jingming's totem inscription spirit is also very good, it has a lot of limitations. She can only carve totem runes. The advantage is that she can easily carve totem runes with high precision. With Lu Jingming's help, Qin Yun refined 30 throwing knife talisman weapons, 20 totem fire talismans, and 10 body securing talismans in just a few days. There are also 5 Xian soul treasure level throwing knives. Brother Yin, are you going to fight by refining these things? Lu Jingming said worriedly. I'm going to teach some bad people a lesson. They bullied me before. Qin Yun nodded. Jingming, you don't have to worry about me. I'll be fine. Then Brother Yin, you must come back. I will continue to help you refine talismans in the future. Lu Jingming's voice carried a trace of worry. Her eyes are filled with concern. Of course I want to come back. I still have a lot of things to do in the Immortal Weapon Palace. Qin Yun smiled as he caressed Lu Jingming's face and said, I'll get Fatty Mu to send you back. Mu Feng sent Lu Jingming back to the bald old man. After Qin Yun disguised himself, he quickly left the Immortal Weapon City. As soon as he left the city, he rushed towards Zhilong City. He wanted to resolve this matter as soon as possible. Now that a few great clans are pressuring him step by step, he must let the other party know that provoking him will result in a miserable outcome. As long as he could intimidate a portion of the people from those clans, in the future, those who wanted to cause trouble for him would have to consider the consequences. After running for a few days, Qin Yun finally arrived outside of Zhilong City. Entering and exiting the city is very easy. There is no need to pay any entrance fee, no need to apply for an identity card or anything like that. One can just directly enter. It is said that Zhilong City is also called Slave City and specializes in slave trading. Because behind this city is the Long family and the Medicine Immortal Valley, many chivalrous warriors who dared to cause trouble died miserably. Qin Yun had previously learned about this city from Mu Feng. There are not many experts stationed here, not even a martial king. However, the number of people who dared to cause trouble is decreasing. In the past, not long after, a group of righteous people would join forces to suppress this city. The slaves in this city are all kinds of living people or fairies. Especially a large number of living people, they were all captured by human traffickers. Most of them are strong martial artists. After buying them, they would be used as coolies. Then there are children and women. They are also in high demand. A city like this is simply an extremely evil existence. However, there is no power to exterminate it. On one hand, they are afraid of offending the Medicine Immortal Valley and the Long family. On the other hand, they are afraid of the evil dragon in this city. There is an evil dragon in Zhilong City. It is a beast pet raised by the Long family and often eats people. If one wanted to do business in Zhilong City, they would have to provide living people to the evil dragon to eat every month. When Qin Yun heard of such a matter, he felt extremely angry. He despised the 5 great immortals and the Divine Inscription Palace even more, because the existence of this kind of city is simply devoid of conscience. However, those sects that claim to be righteous sects did not manage it. Xiao Yun, if you properly help people, you can also accumulate good karma. It might be of help to you in the future. Ling Yuner said, "This kind of thing, I will help whenever I encounter it. After all, this world is so big." Qin Yin looked at the city in front of him that is filled with resentment. "Although you have killed a lot of people, the people you killed are all villains. This will not affect you in the future," Ling Yin said with a smile. "If you help people more and accumulate more karma, then when you are in the martial emperor realm, it might be of great help." This is the first time Qin Yin has heard of such a saying. Because he grew up in the imperial palace, he has seen too many bloody things, especially some people with evil intentions. After grasping great power, they killed people like flies and used all kinds of despicable methods to harm the innocent. However, they would not be punished. For example, many of the so-called righteous sects and the spirit desolate, the heartless things they do in secret are also outrageous. The city in front of him, full of all kinds of evil activities, exists under the protection of the medicine Immortal Valley. As for the other righteous sects, they feel that this matter has nothing to do with them, and they're too lazy to fight against the medicine Immortal Valley, so they did not rescue the people inside. Accumulating good karma is just a kind of psychological comfort. There are also many martial emperors. If it is really useful, they will definitely go around doing good deeds. Qin Yin did not think much of it. He shook his head and smiled. "Even I am just doing it according to fate." "Not at all." Ling Yuner chuckled. "The road of martial Tao is not only about cultivation, but also about virtue. Many people are in the midst of cultivation and neglect virtue. Cultivation can obtain great power, but there is no significant benefit in cultivating virtue." When Qin Yin heard Ling Yuner speak so seriously, he frowned and said, "Is it really useful? If it is really useful, then why is no one mentioning such an important thing like cultivating virtue? How can no one mention it? You punish evil and uphold justice. When you were very young, you saved Yuelon and little Mei Yin. Think about it. Who taught you all this?" Ling Yuner asked. "Its big sister, imperial preceptor, and mother. They taught me since I was young to do things with a clear conscience, to do good deeds, and to help when I see injustice." Qin Yin clenched his fists tightly. This kind of thing has always been passed down by word of mouth. However, it is very easy to overlook. It doesn't matter if it is useful or not, as long as you do things with a clear conscience, Ling Yuner said. Qin Yin nodded and walked into Zhilong City, which is filled with grievances. The moment he stepped into the city, it was as if he had entered a devil's den. He could clearly feel that this place is filled with resentment, grief, anger, greed, brutality, and all kinds of negative energy. As he walked on the street, he saw many stalls with people who were tied up and beaten up. They were displayed and sold like commodities. "Long family, medicine Immortal Valley, you bunch of evil demons." Chapter 635. Old Swordsman. After Qin Yin entered Zhilong City, he felt the foul atmosphere inside, which made him feel very uncomfortable. "Xiao Yun, you must calm down and think of a way to destroy this city and save the slaves inside," Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun let out a long sigh. Then, he walked around the city to gather detailed information about this place. He first needed to have a good understanding of this city. Zhilong City is not a large city, but there are definitely some forces in this city. What he needs to do now is to understand what kind of powerful powers are in Zhilong City. These powers are also the ones who dominate the slave market. After asking around for a long time, Qin Yin also learned that there are a total of 5 slave owners in this city. They are the Long family, Yang family, Tian family, Lu family, and Ji family. These great families have actually joined forces, and behind the Long family is the medicine Immortal Valley. He also heard that the evil dragon inside can be considered to be from the medicine Immortal Valley. Although the evil dragon belongs to the Long family, because the medicine Immortal Valley promised to protect the Long family also let the medicine Immortal Valley enjoy the evil dragon. Without a doubt, the biggest slave owner in Zhilong City is the Long family, which is also known as Long Jigue. Long Zhigui's son often came to this city to fool around with other families or to collect large amounts of purple crystal coins and various gifts from others. Long Zhigui is from the Medicine Immortal Valley, and his son, Long Yonliang, is also an outstanding disciple of the Medicine Immortal Valley. It is said that he will represent the Medicine Immortal Valley in the martial arts tournament. After Qin Yun inquired about the situation here, he began to plan his actions. His main goal is to destroy this city because this is Long Zhigui's important property and also the place where the Medicine Immortal Valley and the Long family keep the evil dragon. In addition, he also wants to save the slaves here. After all, he can't just sit back and watch this kind of thing happen. Only by doing this can people know the difference between him and the people from the Long family and the Medicine Immortal Valley. The Long family, the Medicine Immortal Valley, and the other families buy and sell slaves. And Qin Yun actually saved the slaves. If this spread out, the difference in strength would be obvious. I heard that a group of high-quality slaves is coming in. It is said that most of them are women. Qin Yun was in an inn, looking at the dark sky outside. A group of high-quality slaves has come. The young masters of several major slave owners will definitely go and play with them first. Ling Yun, he said, we could take advantage of this and catch them all in one fell swoop. It is said that they will first inspect the goods outside the city. If they are satisfied, they will keep them for themselves to play with. If they are not satisfied, they will bring them in and sell them. If they can't sell them, they will feed them to the evil dragon. They will set off at nightfall. Qin Yun said. The sky was only dusky now, and the sun had just set. After Qin Yun waited for a while, the sky turned completely dark. He hurriedly rushed to the city gate. As soon as he arrived, he saw a large group of people riding extremely strong giant tigers galloping out of the city. This group of young masters. You can obviously fly, but you insist on riding a giant tiger. Is it to show off? Qin Yun found it amusing as he hurriedly left the city and hid in the darkness. He couldn't make a move yet because among the group of people, only 5 were the sons of the 5 great slave owners. The others were bodyguards, and they were all very strong. Earlier, Qin Yun sensed that there were a few Xian martial realm martial monarchs in the group. 5 young masters. Each of them is protected by a Xian martial realm martial monarch. Qin Yun thought in his heart, this won't be easy to deal with. This undoubtedly increased the difficulty for Qin Yun. If there were only 1 or 2, it might be easier to succeed. I should be able to capture one with the heavenly lion dragon suppressing cauldron, but it will be difficult to capture a few at the same time. Qin Yun can only follow them for the time being and think of another way. Just as he was following them, he suddenly sensed a faint aura fluctuation in the forest behind him. There are people in the forest below, and there are quite a few of them. Qin Yun quickly entered the forest to see who the group of people are. If they were secretly protecting those young masters, he could kill them right here and now. After Qin Yun entered the forest, he was secretly surprised. These guys are really good at hiding. I almost didn't discover them. Qin Yun's mental power is very strong, but he can only sense a trace of aura. After entering the forest, he very carefully sensed and found a few figures. Who are these people? Qin Yun is very surprised. From the aura he sensed, this group of people are not very strong. They are only at the spirit martial realm. They're early stage, middle stage, and late stage. This group of people did not discover Qin Yun. They are secretly following the group of young masters in the forest. After following them for a period of time in the forest, Qin Yun was surprised to discover that there are dozens of people in this group. They are scattered throughout the forest. Are they here to protect those young masters? Qin Yun secretly guessed. Not long after, the group of young masters also stopped. They met up with a large group of slaves. The detained slaves are all in cages. There are a total of several hundred of them. There are more than 200 women, and the rest are strong middle-aged and young men. On the main road, there are many carriages stopped. The sounds of crying and cursing are mixed together. It is very noisy. In the forest by the roadside, dozens of black-clothed people have also gathered. Qin Yin now realized that these dozens of black-clothed people are all old men and old women. They have 5 Xian martial realm on their side, and more than 30 at the late-stage spirit martial realm. Furthermore, they are well-equipped, so they don't need to worry about injuring the slaves. It's not good for us to make a move, a black-clothed old man said. If we had received the news earlier, we would have been able to act before those young masters. An old woman said regretfully. Qin Yin previously thought that this group of people were secretly protecting the young masters. He never expected that they would be chivalrous warriors who came to rescue the slaves. However, they are all very old. It can be seen that they are a group of people who are not afraid of death. They have been lurking in Jilong City and only took action after hearing the news. And this time, after they confirmed the news, it was too late for them to act. This group of people is really something. Why didn't they guard the main road? That way, once they discover the group escorting the slaves, they can immediately inform them and come out to intercept them. Ling Yuner said, there are too many roads leading to Jilong City. There are dozens of them in total. If every road has to be checked by one person, it would require dozens of people. Furthermore, sound transmission conch is very expensive and they can't afford it. In the end, they are still too poor. Qin Yin can understand the difficulties of this group of old chivalrous warriors. He also admires these dozens of old men very much. Just as they were discussing countermeasures, Qin Yin descended. When they realized that someone had suddenly appeared, these old chivalrous warriors became extremely vigilant. I'm also here to save the slaves. As soon as Qin Yin came out, he immediately expressed his intentions. His face has been disguised, but he still looks quite young. Really? You can't be a spy for that group of people, right? An old man guessed. If I were a spy, you would have been surrounded long ago. Qin Yin smiled. Greetings, seniors. This kid is willing to join you and rescue the slaves together. You're too young. An old man shook his head. You're at the early stage of the spirit martial realm at such a young age. With such good aptitude, you shouldn't be participating in this kind of thing. That's right, we are all old bones. If we die, we die. As for you, young man, your future is limitless. Young man, cultivate well. In the future, when you become stronger, you can flatten the entire slave city. That would be the best. These old chivalrous warriors did not recommend Qin Yin to participate because they felt that it was too dangerous and he would lose his life. Seniors, I have no problem. Qin Yin said, let's not talk anymore. We have to act quickly. Those guys are going to attack the slaves. An old woman said, young man, you watch from the side. If possible, help us collect the corpses. Go outflank them. An old man shouted and flew out. So. In just a few moments, the people inside disappeared. They flew out of the forest and arrived at the main road. These old people are really something. Qin Yin cursed a few times in his heart. He originally had a plan. The group of people escorting the slaves, as well as the bodyguards of the young masters, are very experienced in this kind of thing. Over the years, they have killed many chivalrous warriors who wanted to rescue the slaves. Another group of old fellows who are courting death. Capture them alive. The person who spoke is wearing a golden robe with a dragon pattern carved on it. At a glance, one can tell that he is a disciple of the Long family. This person is young and his appearance is relatively ordinary, but his aura is not weak. He looked at the group of chivalrous warriors rushing over with a sinister expression. This person is a disciple of the Long family and also a disciple of the Medicine Immortal Valley. His name is Long Yongyang. Qin Yin heard from Long Xiaofeng that Long Yongyang has a Xian body and knows how to refine pills. His strength is also not weak, and his status in the Medicine Immortal Valley is extremely high. The people escorting the slaves are also often responsible for capturing the slaves and fighting against the chivalrous warriors who rescue the slaves. They are all experts with rich combat experience. Qin Yin hid in the pitch-black sky and watched the chaotic battle below. These old chivalrous warriors are going to be captured. Qin Yin saw the people escorting the slaves throw out golden nets. They are all very high-level Xian tools. He knew that these old chivalrous warriors are bound to lose. Sure enough, after the golden nets were thrown out, they all shrunk and caught the old chivalrous warriors. Some were caught together in 2 or 3, some were caught alone. Dozens of old chivalrous warriors were caught in a short period of time. Ha ha! The strength of this group of old slaves is pretty good. They should be able to sell for a lot of purple crystal coins. Long Yongliang laughed loudly and said, "These are slaves who have delivered themselves to our door." The others laughed along with him. The group of old chivalrous warriors all began to curse loudly. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.